can't be amazed. Even if you pulled a pin from your hand grenade, we just can't be amazed. And
we some homemade bombs gonna blow right up in your face. What's going on, y'all? It's the Review Dude podcast. I'm DJ.
And I'm Will the Greatest.
And this is the podcast where we typically take a second look at our or your favorite pieces of media, be they movies, films. What the fuck's wrong with me?
Movies and films.
Albums.
Cinema.
Exactly. It's just totally different. So, movies, albums, or TV shows with the Boondocks. You can hear those exclusive episodes on patreon.com/rapcritic. But right now, we usually are taking requests, but right now, man, we had to skirt real quick because a little bit of discourse has been going on. A little bit of hot discourse has been going on around this bitch about Paul Thomas Anderson's film One Battle After Another. And look, folks,
Okay.
There be spoilers in this bitch because we gotta talk about it.
Yeah, there's a lot to discuss, and I am realizing this is my first Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
Wait, have you not seen any of his? Because I looked back too. I was like, which?
I just realized I haven't seen. I've heard of his movies. Like, obviously, I've heard of Punch Drunk Love, There Will Be Blood, The Master. I remember hearing about Licorice Pizza.
There Will Be Blood. Oh shit.
Apparently, I've heard of Boogie Nights. Apparently, a lot of people do not like Licorice Pizza.
Oh god. So that's my thing. I looked up his discography. Filmography to be like, what is he known for? Is he is he a what's his name? Who's that other? Is he an Oliver Stone type? He's always doing these kind of serious, movies. And I was looking through his movies. I'm like, not exactly. Like,
no.
Boogie Nights isn't that. Magnolia definitely isn't that. Like, these are very sort of, character piece movies. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then Licorice Pizza is the movie he did right before this, which really threw me the fuck off because I was like, isn't that the one that's about like, oh, sure, it's a 40-year-old person with a 15-year-old, but it's a woman who's 40 years old, so isn't that, like, okay or something? It's like, what?
That is the story that I've heard about that film. Because I remember seeing trailers for it back when it was, prior to it coming out. I'm like, that could be interesting, and never got around to it. And just as One Battle After Another came out, people were just like, yeah, his movies are pretty good, except for that one about the groomer. Except for that one weird grooming movie that he did.
Yeah.
Now I haven't seen it, so that's not my opinion. That's just the takes I heard. So I'll come back after I do a Paul Thomas marathon.
Hey, yeah, maybe there might be there's a lesson about it, but from what I heard, that did not feel like that was what they were going for, but,
Yeah, I need somebody needs to do like a weird list or just like a triple movie night where you have one movie from Paul Thomas Anderson, Wes Anderson, and Paul W.S. Anderson.
I was just about to say, wait, who's the other one? There's another Anderson.
You have like the chaotic, the neutral, and the lawful of each category.
So Paul Thomas Anderson and Paul W.S. Anderson. Those are two. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yes, Paul W.S. Anderson is the one that keeps Mila Jovovich well employed.
Oh, he's the nigga that did the Mortal Kombat movies. And
he did Mortal Kombat and Resident Evil and Event Horizon and AVP.
Such a different level of like film that we're dealing with here from one to another. Wes Anderson.
I have seen quite a few Paul W.S. Anderson movies.
Yeah, Wes Anderson is the twee, bullshit art student, sort of movies. Paul W.S. Anderson is the schlocky fucking, Resident Evil shit. And Paul Thomas Anderson is like the respectable character movie sort of thing. Like I said, with Boogie Nights, Magnolia, There Will Be Blood. These are the movies that I've seen. And that's kind of how I know him as like, oh, okay, that's kind of what he does. So when I see this, and it has this very sort of, like I said, Oliver Stone, Spike Lee sort of edge to it, I'm kind of like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And I wanted to give it a shot. But as I watched the movie,
I did too. The trailer really, the trailer and whoever did the first version of the trailer, I've heard conflicting things about the second version. Whoever did the first version of this trailer and sold it as one story, and then you sit through this 3-hour film for what it actually is, fire them immediately.
Oh my god!
These tones, the proposed premise versus the actual premise. Like the proposed premise is, oh man, the government kidnapped this former revolutionary's daughter and he has to get her back. That is technically what happens in the movie.
Wow.
But the actual movie is just a interpersonal family drama along the backdrop of far left, like, domestic actions and a lot of government conspiracy. And even just like the discourse amongst, specifically for I've seen like black content creators, so people like Fantastic Frankie, who I like and follow a lot. She has a lot of great takes. Who's
I saw
your boy?
FD Signifier do a video on it.
FD Signifier had to loop around because I watched his live stream reaction right after he got out, and then I watched him on Waving the Red Flag, where he talked with like the lead host over I'm forgetting his name. I'm forgetting those brothers' names, but they're really dope. I saw their conversation afterwards when he cooled off a little bit and was a little bit better about his takes. So and then also my homegirl over at Black Girl Nerds, she dropped a review and gave it held it as pretty positive, and she hated him. That's a review for another day where we can talk about
who?
that. The movie Him.
Oh, I thought you were going to say she hated FD Signifier. I'm like, whoa.
No.
Shots fired.
If I recall, her review was relatively positive. So I've gotten a full spectrum of opinions, and this is the first time I think I've actually talked with somebody.
And I remember
about
on my end, I remember the first wave. This is what happens the first week this movie comes out, because I remember I first watched it and I was like, I kind of like some of the aesthetics and some of what's happening on the set dressing of the storytelling that's happening around the main story. Like, I like that and how that's kind of alluding to certain things. And there's even certain character beats that I kind of feel like, if this got in the right tweak, I feel like this could be very cutting social commentary on both sides of the table. But there's something that is really missing. And we'll fucking get into it, because I really do think the main thing is a fucking black woman's actual voice in this goddamn movie. But, like I said, when I first saw it the first week, I remember something was niggling at me. Something kept eating me.
Yeah, it was niggling, all right.
Gilbert Grape, word to Leonardo DiCaprio. But, like, I kept going, like, I was listening to podcasts where they were talking about it, and they were heaping nothing but praise on it. And I'm like,
Yeah, I think even Frames Per Second gave it really. I didn't finish it, but I think they gave it, and they're all black men. So it's like.
And I also watched what is it? Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood. I listened to their podcast. Now they were a little critical, but ultimately I feel like they came down on a very positive level. But they did not bring up the things that I'm going to bring up today, which is
if it's what I'm thinking it brings up is like how this narrative centers black women explicitly, like cause and effect are directly related to black women's actions, but also how it characterizes there's a spectrum of how they're characterized,
but it decenters them, like in how the plot actually unfolds in a way that is really frustrating. And I'm like, all right, Paul Thomas Anderson, whatever, you had the original idea, let Issa Rae do a second run of this so I can actually give a shit about the black characters.
Actually, let Regina King do a second run, because she was the one that did, what was it, One Night in Miami? The one that was like, because I think she directed that. It was like, give Regina. So to belabor a point, because I think it is interesting. And
I think Regina King does the best she can, but she's so directly detached from what the main plot of this movie is that she can't be.
You're thinking of Regina Hall. Regina King.
Excuse me. I always fucking forget the.
I feel like the only one that gets it right, because I'm like, Regina Hall is a scary movie. Regina King is Huey and Riley.
I could swear to God. I mean, it's comedy. You're going from scary movie to the Boondocks. I thought it was the same fucking person. All right, whatever.
No, Regina Hall was Best Man. Regina King is Poetic Justice.
Damn. All right. But wait, I thought that was Janet Jackson. Oh man, I'm fucked up. No,
she was Janet Jackson's friend.
No, but let's really get into it, because, like I said, I think the movie's heart is in the right place, but certain things just go off the rails in terms of, like I said, just the black representation. And okay, let's start here.
Okay, the left representation. Let's talk about that.
Well, yes, that's actually a good point to make, because it's like, I like the idea of, doing a satirical, or, even if it's like serious, but, pushing in the face of, the caricatures of leftist and alt-right people and trying not alt-right but like because the characters we get into on the conservative side of things, they're very paleo conservative, very old money conservative thing, and I like the dichotomy of like, wow, is this what's happening right now? It's the old money, but they're a bunch of fucking nutsack crazy racists who are pushing this, and then you have the other side, which is like you'd think would be the good guys that you're supposed to root for, but they seem reckless. They seem kind of like they're just doing this out of a weird sexual fetish, and it's like, wait a minute, whose side am I supposed to be on here? And like I said, if it was more clever about doing that send-up, and like I said, at the same time had a stronger black character as the central focus of the movie, I think this could have been a home run. But because it just does not do that in a way that ends up centering Leonardo DiCaprio's character in a way that's so frustrating with a movie with so many interesting characters around the edges, that I'm just left going like, we just ended up doing the white savior narrative again, but like, he's bumbling, so I guess it's okay. I got
a little pushback to that. Actually, because of how the narrative unfolds. But I understand how you could draw to that conclusion, and because essentially he bumblefucks his way for somebody that saves himself. Is how it goes. So it's
that's true. That's true. By the end of the movie, that is what happens. But at the same time,
I get what you're saying. Where it's just like he is the face of the journey.
Yeah,
70% of the movie.
Perfidia Beverly Hills, played by Tiana Taylor. She's gone by the end of the first third of the movie, and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
It's interesting because
Jesus Christ,
it centers DiCaprio's character, but he is passive through the events of this 3-hour narrative where
and I do like him as an actor in this film. Like I do
he's good.
He's playing his role as the bumbling white dude who's like, well, I'm going along with this. He's like the munitions
Everyone's
expert,
acting is
but
great.
He's not really the brains of the operation, but he loves this woman and he wants to take care of the kid and do the right thing. Like I think he plays in the pocket really well as an actor, because that's just fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. That's my man Leonardo DiCaprio from fucking Titanic, all right? That's my boy.
When I was watching,
he always gonna act up a storm.
I was impressed seeing him get to these different places of this guy, but just like to speak about, even from the opening, like the friend. So I walked out of this from a very interesting perspective of someone that politically aligns rather left of center.
Sure. And like I said, but like I agree with you on that front, and at the same time, I'm also cool with doing a little like, hey, let's rib the left too. Let's joke on the tropes of that sort of thing of like, the white guy who's, wants to be the good guy, but maybe he doesn't really know what's going on, and he's just kind of doing what his hot girlfriend says because she's hot. Yeah. Like, all right, okay, I'm down with that.
Because
a little
to your point, it's like
there, right?
It can be satire without explicitly being like a comedy. Like satire, like that's why a lot of Mel Brooks movies, while they are also comedies, they are satires that like can poke. Because like again, I have a large swath, a beautiful cacophony of like left-leaning friends that are like the queer sex worker, pro-protest, go out there, advocate, like be in community resources. I've been in those environments. Great people, great politics. Sometimes you got to learn to have a little fun with it, where it's just like they're not on the same footing as like a Black Panther Party or a Weather Underground or like a MOVE, but these are just like citizens that happen to be part of marginalized groups that advocate for health. And so it's like it's easy if you know how to participate in those groups and you know them, you also know how to kind of lightly take a ribbing to it of what like an extreme would be. But you start the movie with them like freeing from like a ICE detention center.
Okay, yeah. Well, really quick, I just want to say, like, and like, the conservative side of this with the, especially that's represented by the Colonel Lockjaw, like, that is definitively worse, right? Like, as much as you're like, we can joke on our white leftist brothers is like, in the pitfalls of being a white dude who might be kind of blind to this, fine, yeah, we can joke on that, but it's like, I think the movie does a good enough job of like lampooning the conservative, like, guy who is running these detention centers, yet can't get enough of black women. It's like, we see what's going on here. I like that.
The parallel of the satire is that, like, the satire of the right, because I think it's like, at least, and I could be misquoting.
Well, they're different beasts. They're different things. They're different beasts because it's like them differently. Yeah.
To appropriately satirize something, you have to pull a little bit from reality. There is a very strong reality of, and we know this from like porn statistics, of racists and bigots that mask their hatred but are also sexually aroused by those that they say they despise, versus embracing the fact that they're attracted to somebody that might be black or trans or queer or whatever it might be.
Yes,
and so
yes.
it's just like,
and on the other side of the coin, I think the satire going on here with the liberal, you know, good meaning white guy.
They're definitely way more liberal than there are leftists in the movie. This is not really that group. They're like they're extremists.
Ghetto Pat is the name of fucking Leonardo DiCaprio.
Ghetto Pat.
And I'm like, what the fuck is the Ghetto Pat? Is this nigga from 3-6 Mafia? What the fuck type of Ghetto Pat?
He's the fourth
Project
member.
Pat out this bitch.
So even think about it, it's like and I think the difference where you parallel is, especially when it comes to satire, is like the worst thing the right can do is kill you. The worst thing the left can do is like inconvenience you.
Yeah, and like
if we're talking like power dynamics. So in order to satirize that, it's innately going to be kind of imbalanced. But the issue you run into is like the satire of the right in this movie pulls from very real, very terrifying places that add a lot of complexity. The satire of the left kind of makes them cartoon character, and there are ones later that are really well done with the Mexican and Latino people, but at the beginning the one that we follow with the French 75
is incredible.
Yeah, but the French 75, who we follow through the predominancy of the movie, especially with like Ghetto Pat being a member of it, they're kind of cartoonish, where it's just
and this is my thing. And like I said,
they're not an accurate depiction of actual far left militant
Colonel Lockjaw. Yeah, Colonel Lockjaw is cartoonish, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe we're trying to do cartoonish on the other side too. And what seems like is the main thing that Paul Thomas Anderson does here is use the sexuality and the fetishization of what they're doing as a sort of joke on it. And like, I'm cool with that for like one or two characters, like, hey, maybe Ghetto Pat and Perfidia, you know, we're kind of doing something with them. But it seems like everyone is these people who aren't taking themselves seriously and just kind of like only doing shit because, well, I want to fuck that Mexican hairless pussy, so that's why I want to get her out of immigration. You know, it just feels like, what? So that's why? Like, that feels so... And again, if that's their point, I wish it was more pointed instead of it just being a... You know, there's just a scene where there's two scenes in a row where, like, Ghetto Pat and Perfidia make out, and she's like, you like black girls, right? And he's like, hell, fuck yeah, I like black girls. Why do you think I'm doing this? And I was like, holy shit, that said a lot, you know, in the first 5 minutes of this movie. But then there's another scene where there's a black dude and he like makes out with the white girl right before she does her.
Go get him, white girl. It was Wood Harris.
My beautiful, perfect working white girl. I'm like, what is going on? That was the
only thing that took me out the movie, is seeing Wood Harris with a white woman and trying to convince me that was anyway believe. It's like watching Denzel Washington make out with like Margot Robbie. I'm like, was this AI? Who did this? Like,
but now again, it's like if they're going to go there, I wish they had actually done something with it other than just the because
it's not grounded in anything. Yeah, I don't think it's grounded in anything that's like really real.
Because it feels like they're treating the only way you could be a leftist is if you just want to fuck, you know, a minority. It's like, right? Like, doesn't that kind of feel like it's what's going on here? And
I can see how you get to that conclusion. So I think that the distinction is if we're placing this about, how old is his daughter? 17. 2024. So this is like the mid 2010s.
I think so, because some of the music decisions, I was like, wait a minute, what year is this again?
We'll talk about the music, because there is something that went on for way too long. I know why they did it, but it still got on my nerves, that fucking piano. But it's like, so this is like the late 2000s. Man. Oh,
this nigga think he the Safdie brothers out this bitch. He trying to make his fucking Uncut Gems out this bitch. I hear
like
him.
40 goddamn minutes. I'm like, please, you're driving me nuts. I know it's to create anxiety and tension, but it's like, so this is like late 2000s, early 2010s, if the timeline is comparable now. So the issue you run into is that the right has only gotten more and more openly hostile and they already were that at the time, and only more so. The left has not accumulated nearly as much loud outward influence because they bomb them to smithereens every time it happens. The most accurate thing was the way that the government was infiltrating and taking them out versus how they behaved. how they behaved
that's the
seemed
thing.
very inaccurate because they were so French 75. The fact that they made it that long without getting caught bewilders me.
Right.
Because like
And they
in
are
the
reckless
opening,
as fuck.
Perfidia had no government names. It's like Perfidia Beverly Hills, and I'm like,
Like, bitch,
Teyana
you got
Taylor,
a really specific name. They're gonna find you.
like walking around like Bayonetta with a crop top and like putting on the military. I'm like, don't get me wrong. Which, like, on the one hand, I am completely okay having the dynamic spectrum of like a hypersexual, hypervigilant, left wing, you know,
I like the idea
there's nothing wrong with that character. There's nothing wrong.
I like
I think,
the idea of
inherently with
critiquing that type
figure.
of personality, right?
But that's my thing. Is like I think ultimately for me, it didn't read as a critique. But when we see the trailer for the movie, it like sells it in some form or fashion as like they're gonna have something to say. So here's my thing too. When I walked out of it, a lot of people were mad with, I think, the misrepresentation of militancy, of far left, making them look incompetent, like a bunch of bumbling assholes that really just like to fuck and blow stuff up and let immigrants loose. But for me, because I'm aware of those strategies, it actually didn't bother me because I'm like,
well, see, here's my thing. I think the movie tries to have its cake and eat it too, because while they also show this, you know, French 75, you know, Weather Underground, but the new age, they seem to, as the movie goes on, hint back to characters like Benicio del Toro and the nuns in the nunnery, where it's like, these are the people who actually are like
actually
the backbone.
organized. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I felt like, oh, okay, are they trying to say that sort of thing? But even so, it just frustrated me with how the characters played out. And like I said, I wish...
Because they're the characters you're following.
character stayed in the movie so that she could actually have to deal with the critiques that would be leveled at her for what she ended up doing by putting all these motherfuckers in danger. So let's get through the plot.
by like and just like, you know, just working our way through so they go to the detention center. They're like and the way my brain was, I'm like, so you just showed him your face with your government sanctioned eyeballs and your government sanctioned navel out in the middle of it, like a soldier camp. I'm just like, don't get me wrong. And here's the thing. All the acting is great in this movie. I think all the performances are great. Yeah. Teyana Taylor does I haven't seen a bad Teyana Taylor performance. That includes Coming to America 2. She always does what she needs to do. I think she's talented. I think she's sexy. But also, like, just, it's like grappling. I'm like, man, she looks good. And I get that the camera's trying to lean into the sexualization because she's hypersexual.
Like, especially the character where
for Lockjaw's
perspective, like, looking through the camera, like, you know, you kind of say,
like,
hey,
licking
why
his
is it
lips.
focusing so much on her butt? Oh, it pulls back. It's Colonel Lockjaw, you know, looking at her through some binoculars. Yeah.
But then there's like that point of why, if you're already gonna let these endangered, detained immigrants go, why are you leaving witnesses? I think it sends a far bigger, because it's like at this point, because if you believe that they are complicit people in the machine, at least the general,
at least fucking blindfold him, goddammit.
Yeah, like you don't have a bandana or anything, so it's like it'd be one thing if she had a bandana, she blindfolded him, you know, she just like sexually embarrassed him. What an unfortunate way to discover that that's your kink. Oh no, I like black women dominating me. This. Man, it's like, which it's like it was like two ways, because on the one hand, Teyana Taylor is yelling at me on a screen. On the other hand, I'm in a public audience watching this this grown ass man watching fucking, who is it? Sean Penn or Sean Penn? Sean Penn.
Sean Penn's problematic ass.
Yeah, get sexually humiliated and like taken out, and then he discovers like, I think I'm into that.
Now here's my thing. Okay. So the first time I watched this movie, and you have the scene where like the first scene of the film is, you know, Ghetto Pat and Perfidia and the French 75 are freeing immigrants from a detention center, and basically gonna let them like either ride with them or like be able to run back to Mexico. And so the idea is that like, oh, okay, it's down to business. Let's fucking get this going. All right, let's do what we got to do. And then what is it? She walks into, because Ghetto Pat does his thing. Then she walks into the room where
like the barracks
Colonel
or whatever,
Lockjaw is,
where he's
and
sleeping.
it looks like he's like asleep or something like that.
I'm pretty sure.
When I first watched this movie, I thought they had already met each other before, so this was like an ongoing thing they were doing, right?
No,
I thought
that was their first meeting.
Yeah, so that threw me off. So when I first went, like, they were the way she comes in, she puts like a gun to his head and she says, "Get up," and she goes like, "No, I mean get up," like looking at his dick, like to telling him to get hard for her, and I'm like, oh, so like when I said when I first watched it, I was thinking, oh, is this like some weird sort of like, they're both sides of the political aisle are sexually hot for each other.
See, that would have
like,
been interesting though. That would have been interesting if it was like in media they had already been fucking, and she has
right,
to
that's
run
what I
and she
thought was
like,
going to be happening.
You better
and
get
the
it
reason
up
why
for
she's
me.
able to get away with all of this is because
Yeah.
he keeps letting her. It's like the fucking a cartoon from the 80s. I'll get you next time, but you sucked my dick right before, so nobody knows.
Yeah,
but the way it's played is that no, they say their names to each other as if they're meeting for the first time. So it's like, I'm first of all, why the fuck is she saying her name? But whatever.
Yeah, her goddamn government name, knowing that she's and that was something they bring up later, is that she's from like a line of revolutionaries. But
that makes me even more frustrated. Like the more I knew about her, the more I'm like, then why is she acting like this?
It's
like
there's some decisions that it's like, again, this is it's I think it is grounding to have characters that have flaws and can make mistakes and errors.
Sure.
But I think when you're crafting a narrative, it makes it a little bit more. Now, granted, what I've heard about Perfidia's analog in the original book, because it's based off a book, like
it's based on a book from like the 90s, I think.
Yeah, and it's a lot more explicit, where it's just like she doesn't really. I think she's a reporter, and she doesn't really believe much in the movement, and she's willingly.
And I think
fucking
she's
this
white
guy.
originally, isn't she?
She was white. There are a lot of differences, and like, I see why Paul Thomas Anderson went this route, because historically it is more accurate that like black people and people of colors were the ones leading a lot of the revolutionary movements in America. So if you were going to have a narrative that has modern day revolutionaries, which to this day are still predominantly headed by like black and POC people, it would make sense to change that for like a very loose inspiration / adaptation. That is true. The issue then becomes when you characterize incompetency and put it on a marginalized person, it reads different.
And then say that this is the revolutionary, the black revolutionary, like the black revolutionary of the film. It feels like, what? What are you? And again, I'm cool with that. Like, my perfect example for this is Dear White People. I think Dear White People
love that movie.
does what this movie's trying to do way better. Because it's a similar thing. Oh, she's pro-black and all on this pro-black shit. Ooh, but she's in love with this white guy, and maybe that kind of messes it. And she used to be dating this black dude, and there's something going on there where, like, well, maybe I just didn't like him, and I'm cool with this guy, regardless of whether, like, oh, okay, we're having interpersonal, like, mix with the political, and there's, like, it's a powder keg, what's going to come of that? I think that movie played with that a lot better than this one does. Especially, like I said, when the fucking main black female character gets written out of the movie a third of the way through, and we're kind of forced to deal with what her choices are, and yet the characters in the Ghetto Bob's character, is basically
Ghetto Bob.
Kind of in Ghetto Bob.
I mean, that's his name later is like Bob. So
Ghetto Pat.
Bob isn't
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
But I'm thinking of fucking
we can call him Ghetto Bob.
8 Mile.
There's nothing wrong with that. He can be Ghetto Bob. He can be Rocket Man. He can Ghetto Pat. We can call him whatever we want. Leo. Ghetto Bob is kind of would be a dope rap name.
But like, okay, because I wanna methodically get through this to get these ideas in my brain farted out.
I know we have to get through the
what I'm
narrative
saying.
because it kind of frames the context, but I think also as we're discussing and kind of like critiquing and reviewing the content of it, I don't think it's irrational for us to kind of point out how even the decisions in production of a moving piece like this, where it is very much it is like about it is very relevant to, okay, it requires black people, but it is not explicitly following a black person. Like there is one with the daughter with
and like I said, Regina Hall.
Regina, Deandra is good. It's like Willa, aka Charlene, is like important. She does a lot of impressive things so it's like very much learned from what like her dad and family and the group taught her.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competency with who's your boy with the teacher the karate teacher.
Oh, sure.
And there's a lot to be said there.
Benicio del Toro, he fucking knocks it out of the park. He's so fucking chill while, Ghetto Bob is fucking going, oh God, I gotta get around. And Benicio's like, oh, buddy, come here. All right, we're gonna do this. All right, calm down. We can do it. Like, yo, I need that man to be the head of the revolution. The way he's just fucking so chill. It's like, no, I got myself a little, like, Latino, underground railroad thing going on. Apparently, Benicio he was the one who proposed that whole subplot idea. And it's like, wow, like this movie would have been so much less if it didn't have clearly someone who's actually knows what he's doing running operations. Like, there is a competent side of this revolution. Yeah.
And even just like, I mean, I guess we'll get to it. It comes around at the end of just like a point of comparison, because one of the piece of feedback that I was seeing in some people's discussions, like, a lot of the narrative has to do with like the passing of the torch of the revolution to the next generation, which I'm like, I don't disagree, but the issue is that fundamentally the group, and it's not to say that everything that French 75 did was a failure. It's ultimately because they did successful things. They got out like
they freed people from detention centers.
They freed people from detention centers. They blew up a power grid. They took control of political offices. They were taking over banks. The issue was that the mistakes are so glaring. In contrast, like their successes pale in comparison
taking off your mask during a robbery.
Yeah, pale in comparison to how catastrophic their failure was, what their downfall was, leading to each of them getting picked off by flies, and Perfidia ultimately being a rat. Which I didn't. It didn't click with me until
we really got to talk about this. Yeah. Like, okay, so because in the setup where we're showing all of the montage of like, oh, we're bombing this building, we're doing this, and we're leaving voicemails where we're saying our full name for some reason.
For some reason.
And amidst that, there's one part where Ghetto Pat, he's about to set off a bomb. He's like, all right, we have to run. We gotta go as fast as we can. And she's like, wait, let's make out in front of the bomb. I'm like, are you fucking nuts? What is that?
That was low-key my thought too.
Normal.
It's like, ooh, this is getting me hot and bothered. Let's fuck right here. It's like, bitch, before the bombs go off. Hold up.
Let's be clear, everyone. Perfidia Beverly Hills is the daughter of revolutionaries who are no nonsense, but she wants to make out in front of the bombs before they go off. She wants to tell the sergeant her name when she comes in. She wants to fucking sexually harass the sergeant of the detention center when she gets there. Why? Why is she doing this? Why is she not just going about her fucking business? Why is part of it but I gotta sexually humiliate him? And then Colonel Lockjaw falls in love with her because he's like, he falls in lust with her because it's like, oh God, she's so fucking hot. Oh God, she wanted to use me. Because it's like the first scene is at the detention center. Then the next scene is when they're at it's not at a bank, but it's at some sort of place with big marble, structure. And she's
that was like that was a political. I think it was a courthouse or something. Not a courthouse.
Okay. And she looks like she's setting up a bomb in the bathroom. And then Colonel Lockjaw finds her, and I was thinking, oh, has he been like tailing her this whole time? Is that what's really going on? So he's like, I've got you dead to rights, but then he says, look, if I were to tell the truth, I don't give a fuck about you blowing up buildings. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Just fucking suck this dick. Like that's basically what he ends up doing. Where it's like, oh, okay, we're seeing, like, again, at first I'm kind of thinking, oh, there's a bit of a tit for tat here. She, humiliates him but makes him fall in love earlier, and then he kind of like goes like, well, I'll let you go because I don't really have any fucking principles. I just want to get some of that tang, so come to this place at 11 o'clock, at this hotel, and, we're going to do what it does. And so I'm like, oh, okay. And then she has a moment where she looks like she's going to go down on him, where she's like, oh, yeah. And she kind of goes down, but then just kind of quickly gets back up and leaves with her stuff while he's still, like, got his eyes closed like he's waiting for the BJ. And I'm like, okay, again, this is cartoonish. Like, you would start going down on him, and then you would start walking away, and he'd be like, wait, what are those footsteps? Why are you running away? Like, you wouldn't just be able to get away that quickly.
But also,
why is she not unzipping my pants?
He likes the chase. Maybe
but it
we have to stop
me as a
meeting
film
like this. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it frustrates me as a film where you're having this setup of, here's a bit of a tense moment. How's she gonna get out of this one? And then she's just able to, and he just, I guess, is still sitting there with his eyes closed, waiting for the blowjob. It just feels so like,
now, granted,
why didn't she
if
knock him
Teyana
out
Taylor
or
did
something?
that, I'd
like,
let it go too. But yeah, it's just like no.
No, but I wish it was an actual moment of like, maybe she's bullshitting him, right? And it's like, I gotta make it look like it's a struggle, so let me knock you out. But she really actually doesn't care, and she's just trying to get her. Like, you never believe for a second that she's in love with him, but you believe the whole time that Sean Penn wants to get his dick wet in this chick. You know what I mean? So it's clearly okay, so she's using him, but then why is she going along with this part where she actually meets him at the hotel? And I'm like, okay. And then she just has sex with him. She doesn't like handcuff him to the bed so she can get halfway across the country. She doesn't like, pop him in the head or anything. No, she has him dead to rights, puts a gun to his head, and we're watching the movie and thinking, oh my God, is this the moment where she's like, I want to get some secrets too, or something like that. No, she eats his ass, apparently. She like puts him up against the wall.
And that's all I thought that happened. I thought she just like I thought she pegged him. And I thought that was going to be like the twist. But then when we get the information later about Charlene, I was like, it kind of took the air out of it a little bit. I'm like,
yes,
did she?
Now
again, there's an inference of also potential sexual assault that may also be at play.
This is what frustrates me about this movie. Okay, and let's ruin it now, because this is supposed to be the twist. The twist is supposed to be Infinity Chase, who's the daughter of
Chase Infinity's character. Yeah, Willa.
Yeah. The whole idea is like, well, she's light-skinned, so you assume it must be Ghetto Pat's baby, right? Yeah. But then we get to the third act, and, what ends up happening is that Colonel Lockjaw wants to be invited into this Christmas Adventurers Club, which is like,
okay, do we want to talk about the Christmas
people?
Yeah, but it's like, and these aren't just like we use the term white supremacist to describe a lot of people in power now because it's true, but these are like actual white supremacists.
This is the Illuminati of racist white people, which is so funny because racist people are always the ones pushing the Illuminati shit. But these are what we're talking about.
These are old school white supremacists. So we're talking no Jews, no Italians, no Irish. No Irish, no Italians, no Jews. Right. Like they mean purely blood of the
Dutch and English motherfuckers in this.
Yeah, they mean blood of the soil. You can't have looked at Beyonce right. White supremacists. They are these are the waspiest of wasps. These are there's good old boys and then there's these motherfuckers.
You're getting stung from this waspiness. But
yeah, these are the. I'm like, God damn, and the fact that it was Kerry Washington's husband, Tony Goldwyn, is one of them. I'm like, oh shit. Not old boy is a supremacist in this movie after you've been. I feel like that was almost like metacasting, just knowing that they have a close out of film relationship. It's like, he's been with that black girl for so many years. Now he's the most evil of evil white men.
But what I hate, getting to the
but getting back to your point, about Charlene and
is that there's this point of fact of whose kid is it, and then it turns out, oops, it's Sean Penn's kid because he had to basically cut off any loose ends of having any relationship with anyone who's not pure white. So this, Christmas collective, whatever the fuck, is like, oh yeah, you've got to get rid of that loose end, and then you can be invited in because you're a colonel and you've been doing good work. But
the Club Christmas crew.
Yeah, it's spelled with K's at the beginning.
It was spelled with K's for some reason.
But but the twist ends up being, it's actually Sean Penn's kid? What? And what frustrates me is that twist feels like it's only for its own sake because it never answers the question of, okay, so what happened here? Did she consensually have sex with this man without a condom? Or did he rape her? Because the way the sexual scenes are set up, it seems like she's the one in control. She's the one with the gun in his head. She's the one who looks like she's pegging him. So
until the hospital scene. So it's like they have an example of each, and it's hard to get. And it's like, again, under fascistic America, how much power does a black woman have against an old white man who's in the government? Sure, yes, you can make that argument, but it's just in the scene in the motel, she has a gun. She could kill him. Leave him there. No, honestly, no one would really know, and some people probably wouldn't. It's
so why doesn't she? Or at least, like I said, if you don't want to kill him because you don't want to leave a handcuff him to the bed, knock him out, something. Yeah, why is she going along with this unless she's she's getting off on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, where it's just like there can be an implication of coercion from him saying to meet me at this motel, and then from there you see the power dynamic shift, and then theoretically consent. So I guess it's like, yeah, as long as there's a power dynamic
about like him
it's
saying
less
like,
explicit.
oh,
that's what makes it hard. Is just like
I just wish there was some bit of dialogue about like, oh, we're on your tail and we're actually like we've got a tail on. Like if there was like oh, how is he able to catch up with me? I don't know how he did that. So let me get with him so maybe I can try to get the into like if there was some sort of intrigue or reason why this was happening.
Here's the thing also, to the point of Perfidia being a messy supporting character, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with just like messy characters. I'm okay with messy black woman characters. Sure. I think it's like you don't need the inference that that Colonel Lockjaw is also a rapist for us to hate him and be disgusted with him. He already is kidnapping and detaining people and is a militant white supremacist. I don't think we need the implication that he's also a racist to be like, oh, well, I didn't like him when he tried to join the Christmas collective crew and detain more than likely illegally detained all those immigrants. And also he rapes black women. It's like, with the implication, it's not explicit. It's like, well, even if it's just implied, it's like, it would be more interesting if she was fucking him consensually and
like have the messiness and actually deal with that, but it feels like it makes it an open question that becomes a twist without actually examining why the character would do this or not do that, you know? Because
I think then you would have, so there's that part later where she like leaves to Mexico with the note, it's like, this pussy doesn't pop for you. That would be interesting because it's like, oh, now you feel guilt for ratting out all of your people, probably getting every single one of them killed. And the guilt catches up with you. It's like, this is not the life that I really wanted for myself, because all these years I haven't really been grounded in a principle. And I think that's like the biggest, again, this is an inference. This isn't explicit. This is implicit from my perspective, maybe others, is that Perfidia's biggest flaw is that she doesn't, at least from my vantage point, have like a grounding ethos like a lot of other characters do. She doesn't seem to have a plan.
She honestly,
she doesn't have a plan, but she doesn't feel motivated by things that aren't told for her to do. Her family are revolutionaries, so she's a revolutionary. Her husband, or ghetto Bob, says, "Hey, you have to be a mom for your baby," but she wants to be a person. This fucked up rapist general is like, I want you to be my Aphrodite, my like sex goddess. But it's like, she doesn't really have autonomy. And it's like, okay, then the only time she really gets that is when she runs away from everything.
But see, that's the only time frustrating about that.
But again, this is inference. This isn't explicit. This is just my assumption.
But it would be such a stronger character if she either returned at the end of the movie and had to like answer, to her daughter about like, why did you leave me? Why did you do all this? Why, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then it's like, oh wow, she has to stare her decisions in the face after running away for 16 years. I wish that moment could have happened, but we don't get that. Or either that, or like I said, in the note she brings up like, this is why I felt trapped, and there was only one way out, and like just something. But that's not really what happens. So we're just left with, well, she was a good black woman because she was your mom, and that's all that matters. And it's like, well, no, guys. Because Infinity Chase has this idealized version of what her mom is, but we saw her earlier in the movie. We saw her wanting to make out with a dude right in front of a fucking bomb going off. We saw her wanting to fuck the general dude, even though
we saw the highs and lows. We saw her be effective and also chaotic. We saw her like be, it's like, oh, she was good at this, but she was bad at, we saw her be selfish a little bit, which again, it's of even just like that mourning and that postpartum experience of being like a mom who gets even further depersonalized because now your role is mom. So first, so you're revolutionary, you're a wife or supporting character, then you're also like this sex. And so it's like the irony is that the film doesn't center black women, and its lead character is arguably the most dehumanized. And I don't mean dehumanization in the classic sense. I mean, she's not allowed to be complicated in the way that she's presented because her character exists in response to everyone else's desires of her. Yeah. And that also includes other black women like her parents and her mom and grandma, but also her own child. She can't escape the roles of expectation, and the only way to escape that is to remove herself entirely, which might be the point of the movie, but that doesn't make it emotionally satisfying. Is the issue?
Yeah, because the problem with the movie
like that can work.
Like,
it just doesn't. You wind up feeling incomplete.
Well, Ghetto Pat's character feels like he's doing these things in memory and in honor of her, right? Like, I'm protecting her in order to, do this in the memory of my love. But again, go back to the scene where they first have the kid, and you're not seeing her say anything about like how much she loves her kid. The first thing you're seeing is her going like, "Oh, it just seems like he's giving her all the attention. I feel like I'm just a piece of meat and I'm nothing." And da da da. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Well, like you said, it could be a postpartum sort of thing. But then she's like, "Well, I'm going out to another revolution and I'm going to do another thing." And I'm like, and Ghetto Pat's like, "Hey, babe, we got a child. Like, I don't.
Yeah, we have a child.
Be going off and possibly getting killed. Like, can we think about this for a second? Can we talk about this?" And she's like, and again, there's the motivations kind of elide over each other. It's like, oh, okay, she going to the political thing not because she actually cares about politics, but because, well, the person who was supposed to adore me and love me just cares about my child. So I'll at least go where I'm cared about. Like, that's what feels like what's happening. And then it makes me like, what are this woman's principles? Because it's like, you have a fucking child and you're just going, yeah, whatever, you just care more about him anyway. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, the movie feels like it's being written by a white guy about a black girl who's so great and awesome, but it's not actually getting her perspective. You get what I'm trying to say? Like,
I do, because it's like the other black women, I would argue, do get a level of agency, but then they're also still supporting players. But the one who basically kickstarts this dramatic movie, not this so much political movie, but this drama with a political background movie, she doesn't get the focus. But none of the sequences of events that take place between the first opening 20 and then the remaining like 2.5 hours are about her. They are the fallout and consequence of her decisions, of her actions. Absolutely. But like you said, we're not getting her. It's like you heard about a bomb going off, but you're focusing on the people that survived it and not the people that made it. In a way, when there is room for both.
Right, she is the bomb of this movie, and everyone's dealing with the fallout.
It's Oppenheimer without the Japanese. Or no, it's the Japanese without Oppenheimer. You kind of need both. We got Oppenheimer, we got the build, we got the creation.
I heard that was a critique of that movie. Yeah,
and that was one of my critiques of it. It's like, but you don't get the reaction from like the natives on the land who were there and the other people that worked to help build the bomb, and then the fallout from like the Japanese. You get
this is why you just got to watch Shin Godzilla. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly the unofficial sequel to Oppenheimer, Shin Godzilla. One of my favorite movies of that year. Fantastic movie. Yeah. But yeah, it's like that's what happens with this movie. Is like we're getting the fallout of a bomb, and we see some of the bomb. We see a little bit of the explosion, but we don't get like what built this bomb to be the way it is.
As this woman who's the daughter of generations of revolutionaries, and yet she's acting really reckless. What is going on here with this character, right?
And it's
like this one scene where she's pregnant, looks like 9 months pregnant, firing a machine gun. And I'm like, if this ain't the ultimate sign of being reckless, I don't know what is. Like, I'm pretty sure it's not a good idea to have a butter-butter-buttering machine gun up against your baby bump.
It's fine. It massages the baby to sleep. That kid will be fine.
And when I saw that scene, I remember seeing it in the trailer and being like, was Paul Thomas Anderson trying to make a Tarantino movie? Was that what was going on here? I think that looks like the image of a Tarantino moment. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that is definitely one of those things where you're like in your screenwriting software, like, yeah, you have those moments where you're like, this is gonna be in the trailer. Like I have mine for my own screenplay. That's one of those like, oh, and then she's like, Perfidia is pregnant, holding a machine gun, firing it rapidly as her 8-month pregnant belly jiggles.
Yeah. But but unfortunately, like, I feel like Tarantino will give you some commentary every now and then. With this, the most clever social commentary I'm getting doesn't really go beyond, hey, these people are doing this noble thing just because they're horny. That's what it seems like. It's like, oh, everything that's happening is just the background play for their weird extremist murder kinks. That's what it feels like is happening right now.
The biggest, I think, crux is that we're talking about. So how I believe this was sort of marketed, and I think that was a poor decision on the marketing team, is that, okay, this is about the consequences of a revolution engaging with an authoritarian nation like the America Project, like, you know, our white supremacist institution, just like, oh man, we have to, you know, I have to get my child back. My past is coming back to haunt me, which again, technically does happen in some form or fashion. But really the narrative is just like I was saying earlier, it's a family get my kid back drama.
Yeah.
That is just context
but this is what
to how they got there.
This is what frustrates me the most, right? Infinity Chase is the sort of, oh, I care about my child and this is all for you and you're the next generation. But what's happening in the scene where she's a baby? Well, Leo's like, we've got a child to think about. Don't just go out. And she's like, you're just afraid that I put myself first. That's what you're scared of. And I'm like, fucking what? Woman, you have a child. And again, this is the woman who in 16 years, whatever her real name is, her name in real life
Charlene?
is Infinity Chase. But this is the woman who the girl who in 16 years is supposed to be going, wow, my mom is so great. And again, part of the movie is about, like, you know, undercutting that, right? Because, the nuns kind of don't like her, right? They're like, they called a fucking rat and she ratted us out, right? Like, yeah, your mom who, you know, is not so great a hero, but when she goes with Regina Hall and she asks, you know, like, do you know what happened to your mom? And Ghetto Pat was like, oh yeah, he told me Colonel Lockjaw killed her. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, so Ghetto Pat's lying to her, okay, and we're covering up for the... And again, I feel like this is a thing that we're building up to pay off in some way, where, like, man, maybe she's not going to know who to trust at the end of the movie, right? Like, she's going to have to make a decision or something like that. And not really, it just kind of ends in a bit of an action sequence, in a way that, I feel like that last bit of the action scene could have been way more improved if fucking Perfidia shows back up again. Like, why doesn't she show up at the end where it's like... Because think about it. There's a plot device in the movie where there's these two tools that, like, make a certain noise, and when they're together, they make them harmonize.
The little proximity sound devices.
I was like, I thought they were going to do, like, she's going to have one and show up, and it's going to be like I missed you, but I also hate you because you put me in this situation. You know, there's going to be some drama with that. But no, the person who holds it at the end is Leonardo DiCaprio. And I'm like, we didn't have an issue with whether or not she trusted him. So why is this being treated as if it's the third act? Oh my God, we're finally together. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I had to say it like this, but it's like, that's too emotionally satisfying. And the one with Leo is probably more closer where reality falls. The issue is that it's just like where you know, it's like, it's a, what's what I'm looking for? It's a bittersweet ending by the time we get to, like, the end of the movie, because we also see how much that Charlene, Chase Infinity's character, has to, like, overcome. But it's like, I think that the difficulty is a lot of...
I feel like we're playing good cop, bad cop with this movie right now. I'm like, I saw what you did, movie. And you're like, oh man, but you gotta, you know,
don't get me wrong,
struggling right now.
Don't get me wrong. That I would have liked that ending. You know, I think that would have made me like, whoa, holy shit. But then you also have to go back and explain, how did she go from
how'd she
Mexico?
Get back in America?
How did she go from Mexico all the way to fucking California? I mean, that's not impossible. But it's how did she get there? What was the, you know, how did she know where to go? But
it would have been cool to have, like, let's go back to her journey. You know how movies will sometimes do that, like, well, what brought her up to this point, you know?
Yeah, and it's just like, or to see that it's like, she was keeping her eye on her, where it's like, this is a newer letter or something.
Right.
No, it's like where it leaves off on, even with the ending is just like Perfidia and I think it also stands out more, especially to the critique of just like the flawed black woman, is it's rare to see like a mother abandon her child. I think the last one I saw was probably it was Shazam with Billy Batson's mother, and then before that was Antoine Fisher.
and it's like, look, you know, I guess Ghetto Pat is supposed to be the one who's willing to stand up, you know, to be the dad, you know. What do they say about stepdads? He's the one who stepped up.
Yeah,
you know
he's not the stepdad. He's the dad that stepped up.
Right.
which that was my thought too. Is I'm like, is she ever going to tell him? And I hope she doesn't.
But
because that would be a like family destroying bit of information. Like I hope that's information that just died with Lockjaw.
Wait, what specifically?
the lore behind the fact that Project Pat isn't her dad.
Oh right, yeah. Well, she knows, but I guess Ghetto Pat doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
Called Project Pat.
Yeah, I forgot it was Ghetto Pat, but yeah, the fact that Ghetto Pat doesn't know, but she does, and her and Perfidia would be the only ones that know.
Yeah, and then okay, so you have the scene where Lockjaw comes across Leo, and it's like they're at a store or something like that. They're at a grocery store, and he comes up. He's like behind him.
Okay, this part did piss me off.
Yeah, but
Sorry,
then he walks
go ahead.
around him, which is like, wait, are you getting groceries? Are you just leaving? Like what? Because it looks like he was about to pay for his groceries, and you should have been whatever. Maybe it's a bunch of checkout kiosks, but whatever. But yeah, the way like he just goes up to him. Sean Penn's short ass walks up to Leo, and he's like, oh, you getting baby stuff, huh? Yeah, what's the baby's name? And he tells him the baby's name. He's like, oh, sounds like a black girl. Yeah, I love me some black girl. So I was like, I'm sorry. And this,
my first thing is like,
moment,
why are you telling random ass strangers your
yes,
baby's name?
And then random ass niggas.
Your baby's real name. And then two, you need to recognize this nigga's face.
That's exactly what. Yes, I thought what they were doing was, oh, he's on your tail and he's fucking with you. And you know what I'm saying? Like that's the deal. But no, he's still trying to. The whole crux of the movie is that, oh, you know, by the second act, we're pretending that we're doing an ice raid in order to just get the girl. So right. I'm like, oh, okay. I like that bit of social commentary, right? Of like, oh, the government just using extra legal means, you know, to do what it needs to do its petty bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like for the sake of someone's ego or for the sake of, you know, someone's personal gain. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't actually give a shit about, you know, justice or whatever. No, this is doing what we have to do in order to get the thing that I already just wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like the personal vendettas. So then we get the next scene where Jungle Pussy, because the rapper Jungle Pussy.
I was gonna say it's just like I'm like, oh shit, Jungle Pussy's in here, and then I watch FD's
and
videos.
She's
like
so underused. God damn it.
She's so because
she comes in talking all this shit like. Bitch, I'm here to take all y'all money to use for the Black Revolution that's coming, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, we're going here.
And that's
takes her mask off for some fucking reason.
No, that was stupid.
Like, normal clothes, like she's going to a club or something.
But the satire you spoke of, Jungle Pussy would have been the perfect expository device,
right?
Like for that, and I hate that.
But she kind of doesn't get enough time to really do it because. That's
why I said she would have been the perfect one had it not been cut short.
She would have been the perfect cartoonish over because she's not really a main character and she kind of can be that. Yeah,
because that's a lot of theming in her music, and it's like, and I enjoy her music, and the fact that FD didn't know that her name was Jungle Pussy was very funny because me and a lot of people were just like, well, dog. I mean, how can you beat a name?
Crazy name. I mean, I can't hold him on that one.
But my thing is, they all should have had names like that. Like aside from
Perfidia Beverly Hills. What type of fucking name is that? What is this? A late '80s Spike Lee movie? What the fuck is this?
Like here's the thing,
Colonel Lockjaw.
Jungle Pussy wouldn't have stood out so much if all we have is Rocket Man and Perfidia and Howard and Laredo. No, it should have been like Jungle Pussy, Thunder Cunt, like Super Balls, like the, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like Bad Bitch Beverly. Like we should have all had code names.
Yeah, right. They should have all had code names, specifically code names. Yeah. Yeah,
it's like we all should have had code names. So Jungle Pussy wouldn't have stood out if it's like Super Nigga and that's Leonardo DiCaprio's character or something. It wouldn't have stood out. But when you're the only one that got this crazy cool ass name, it's like, oh yeah, you know, the superhero could be any one of us. It could be Clark, Bruce, Steven, Star Shooter, birth like Luke Skywalker, Star Killer the Third.
All the guys who just happen to have names that start with the same letter. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's just like
Peter Parker. You know,
all these alliterative ass names.
But so we have this scene where Jungle Pussy does the whole spiel. She takes off her mask. Then all of a sudden you hear a gun go off, and it's Perfidia who had just shot a guard. The black guard. Why the fuck she have to shoot a black guard? All right, whatever.
You just had to shoot the nigga that was doing his job.
But then what happens is they cut back to her, And, Perfidia's got this man dead to rights, gunned, to his head. And yet, for some reason, this black security guard who I guess really feels that protecting this bank is so important, he's still crawling towards her when she's like, gun to his head, stop moving. And he reaches kind of behind him real slowly. It's like, nigga, do you think she's a fucking, T-Rex and if you move slow enough, she won't see? She sees you, nigga. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, it's like, and I get it. There's definitely a commentary there about the black man still being somebody that perpetuates the arm of the machine and still.
Oh, he's got to be the hero. Yeah,
he's still being complicit in the system because he's a security guard, which could be seen as a form of police. Yes, I can see how there could be commentary there. In that same token, is bro, I don't think there's ever a paycheck that's worth it.
Yeah, it's you were not going to get the drop on this woman. It would be one thing if it was a moment where, they were close to each other and a gun dropped and he went for the gun or something like that, and then she got him.
She got him with that would make more sense versus just he was there doing his job. She got him the one time. He's like, I gotta keep doing my job or else NASA's gonna cut my
slowly. Maybe she won't notice I'm going for my gun.
Well, no, he was bleeding. She already shot him the one time. So, but it's just at that same token, it's just dog, at that point, you shot, you down. The job's not worth it. Look, I'm not dying for Capital One.
I don't understand.
I'm not dying for Bank of America. I'm not dying for Capital One.
It's not for the white man's money. Are you kidding me?
Right. for the banknotes with slave owners on them, I'm not dying for that.
You got me fucked up.
You got me all the way for all the niggas that starred in Hamilton. I'm not dying for that. No, they couldn't keep themselves alive. Fuck, I look like doing this for them.
But so, Perfidia's, she gets captured. She immediately snitches when, well, all right, not immediately, but
it didn't take long when they were parading. Yeah, exactly. Something about that made my blood boil too. Watching a black woman in handcuffs surrounded by a bunch of police officers.
Made my booty itch.
Yeah,
with the cops taking selfies.
Yeah, selfies and something about that. Something about that. It aired.
I don't like this shit.
It was the total antithesis of Me and Sinners. Something about that was I don't like this one bit. This feels like y'all a little too excited.
Right. So Colonel Lockjaw kind of comes into the hospital room and she's kind of goes she says oh, you can save me? You can get me out of here? And he says, well, because you're in love with me, right? And she goes, ugh. Yes. And, it's a sort of, sure. But he says, hey, you got to give me the names. You got to give me the names of all your friends or else you're going to prison. There's no two ways about it. You got to give me the names. And here's my fucking point, okay? If it had been give up the names or, hey, I know where your kid is. If it's something like that, I'm like, uh-oh, fuck, I'm fucked. Okay, I gotta do it. No, she gives up the names, or else you'll spend, or else give up the names.
You're gonna be in jail for the next 30 years.
Fuck it, are you kidding me? You better eat that fucking prison time. I thought this was all about the revolution, motherfucker. Eat the prison time, let those people stay safe. But no, one person gets to not be in prison, not get shot, but just not be in prison while the rest of your motherfucking homeboys get popped in the goddamn head, except for one, of course, the white guy. You know what I mean?
But also, high key, past civil rights leaders and revolutionaries, not only did they get killed for less, they went to jail for less.
Right? So I'm where's all this revolutionary shit?
Because the point is...
Yeah,
because the point is her flaw. She doesn't have principles. That's her flaw. The issue is that I don't think they do a good job.
But she's treated as if she does. That's the weird thing, right? Ghetto Pat treats her as if oh man, I'm doing this for her. We got to do this for her. You know what I mean? And it's I don't know about all that.
That was a lot of the critique I'd seen, I think, from FD in particular, where he felt like she was a bit of the Sapphire Jezebel kind of hybrid.
It would be dope if this movie had, some sort of, explanation for her character, if not to her daughter, then at least to Regina Hall of you know what, man? Fuck it. We're living in these times where we're never going to actually have the peace that we want. I've seen the people that came, I've seen the the revolutionaries that came before me, and how we're still in the same boat, but they're just papering it over to make it seem like everything's okay. So fuck it. If we're not gonna get what we can, if I can't get victory over the metaphorical white man, I can get over both sides of the real, modern white man, right? The conservative, cockstrong, you know what I mean, macho dude, and also the cock liberal, you know what I mean, good boy who does what I say. Like, if there was at least some sort of admittance to the idea of, like, I wanted to get power where I could, so fuck it. Like, there would at least be a sort of like, oh, shit, okay, all right, in this bleak world, you just wanted to get, you know what I mean, grab it where you could. But it just feels like she's left to be just such a firebrand, what's the word they refer to, like, a sapphire, you know what I mean? The sort of, yeah, it feels like she's just that type of character without any real internal reasoning for why that's what I feel like it is. It feels like a white guy writing a very black sapphire character, but without really giving her the meat and potatoes that makes her character the type of character that, even if she is problematic, people still fuck with her because they see, you know what I mean, the character that's going on behind the eyes. Yeah, the sassy black chick, but taken to the, extreme of the political side, right? Like, but again, she's still imperfect and what have you, sure, but I just wish that actually had an impetus, an actual, an animus, an understanding of why this character's like this, instead of it's just, well, she's just wild as the wind, you know what I mean?
And the unfortunate thing is, there is a part of me that wonders what white people take of this, especially like as we're recording this is a couple days removed from the No Kings protest, which I think what stood out a lot of it to me, because there was one going on in my happened to be my hometown for a little bit, and it was going on downtown as I was like actually leaving. One thing that stood out about this most recent protest is like the large absence of black people, and also this kind of ironic celebration that some had. It's like, yeah, it's like we did it, we protested. It's like, cool, turn your protest into practice. I say this as somebody that does not practice enough praxis. I could stand to do better at practicing what I preach. But it's like there was a noteworthy absence, I think, the No Kings. And I'm not going to say this was universal. This is just what I saw from like some news and from my, hometown and everything. There weren't as many black people. It's like, what do you think the revolution looks like? Now, granted, Perfidia is a little bit performative in some of her reasoning. There is a lack of purpose, I think, to why she does what she does, other than being told that this is right or these people are wrong. And I'm sure she understands that. But I think she has an external motivator, not an internal one. And I think that's why she ratted so easy. It's like, well, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I believe in the cause, but not enough to die for it. And I think that's what sets her apart.
Yeah, not enough to...
That sets her apart from like an Asada, who, RIP to the queen.
Yeah, right. See,
MLK.
I think this movie was kind of based
on...
Asada
and Weather Underground. It pulled from a lot of real history.
But specifically the Asada, she cracked a cop over the head, so she had to flee the country. But, like, that story is a very simple, very realistic understanding of why she's doing what she's doing. Here, there's all this sexual politics, like, mixed into it, and then on top of that, abandoning your child. It just seems like, why would you do this?
This character does... I do think Perfidia has a lot of nuance to her. The issue is that, like I was saying before, when you overlap these character attributes and behaviors with race, so when you make a character, a lot of people will write characters raceless versus others that will like intentionally add race to it to add something different to it. The issue is like with a character like Perfidia, if she would read differently depending on the race that she is. The unfortunate thing...
like if this was a white girl, man, this movie would be so different if this was a white girl.
It would read and interact, and even how the audience probably engages with it, especially with like the implications of her potentially being a victim of sexual abuse from a white man towards a black woman, has very different like social and historical implications than a white man to a white woman. Not to say that there's not a history of like domestic abuse and sexual violence that's there, but when you think about like people that are survivors of sexual abuse, a lot of people will see, you know, white women versus like black women during slavery. So those messages, even how they resonate with an audience, will look different, because you'll think of the white woman that got kidnapped in the woods and she got chopped up, and or she like escaped this basement, or she was sex trafficked or something, versus like a black woman that was raped during slavery from a white man that held a position of power from white supremacy during slavery. They just they infer different things, versus like, you know, if she was like an Asian woman, that would have its own different historical implications. If she was an indigenous or Native American woman, that would have some wildly far-reaching implications that would be much closer to black people.
I want to say this much, though. I want to say this much about the No Kings protest and not having minorities there. Honestly, I kind of like. I don't hate that.
Oh no, I don't hate it. It was just an observation.
Like, white people got us in this problem. I think white people should be on the front lines to get us out of it. Like, we've been fighting long enough, goddamn. Like, I don't think any Latinos should be at any ICE protest.
Hell no.
I don't think any Latino should be there.
That sounds like a setup if I've ever seen one.
Showing up for the Latino brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like, why they gotta get their risk getting their heads cracked over American bullshit? Nah.
No, I agree with you. It was like, because that was all my thing was like, it's a significant lack of black and brown people. I'm okay with that. Because here's the thing, they're literally going after us. We heard about the shit in Chicago. We've heard about all.
Yeah, and also like we know what the fuck's going on with the technology and how motherfuckers are able to identify shit more now with the drones. Oh, we ain't fucking stupid.
Yeah. So it's just like.
Although, wasn't there a whole thing where those drones were trying, like all of those the face recognition technology is like literally racist, but in black people's favor because it doesn't recognize black people's faces as much? Isn't that a thing or something?
That's actually funny enough. That was a plot point in that garbage doo-doo ass Magical Negroes movie where it's like, oh, our technology actually struggles to recognize black people, and I'm like,
that's such a clever.
How bad is that?
Oh no, wasted. That's
it was like terrible movie, but that was one point. I'm like, I mean, like it's like how like AI hasn't been trained on black people enough for it to be like sufficient to.
It's like, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
It's a twofold thing, because it's like we do need technology that knows how to engage and recognize our culture, but because we know how people use that technology against us, it's hard. It's like hard to want to be included.
I'm cool with being on the margin. Yeah,
it's kind of like, I want advances in medicine. I do want more research done on black people. But what are you using it for? What are you doing all this research for?
Yeah, and remember the last time you did a bunch of research on black people?
Yeah, we had the Tuskegee syphilis incident amongst, we had medical sterilization issues and things like that.
Science and medicine is good. I don't want to push
No. Science and medicine, as somebody with a STEM degree, science and medicine is a beautiful thing. If you are black or other, if you're just a human being, please get your annual physical. I need to get my own. Please make sure you get your shots.
Oh yeah. No
get your shots so that you're protected from everything like polio and syphilis and HPV and all that. Get all your immunizations. This is not anti-science. All it is just saying, why do you gotta start with us? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, anti the motherfuckers who fund sometimes these science things, and specifically have like, oh yeah, it's okay to use the black people as experiments versus you know what I mean, like that type of shit.
All I'm saying is that if you're gonna conduct a study, let it be a double-blind study. We don't know who's going in, and we don't know who's coming out until we check the results. We don't know. It was like, oh man, there happen to be a lot of black and Chinese people on this one. That's interesting. Well, we were in San Francisco. It's like,
I see. But yeah, so we get to the scene wwhere Colonel Lockjaw is kind of being interviewed by the Christmas Adventures Club, and they ask him, and because this is where I like the social commentary of like these
the cabal of evil white men sitting around the table,
like these
as
black
they're known
and brown
to do.
people, but like these black, brown, and white people on the streets are like, doing what they can to band together, but they don't have institutional power. These conservative, like, ideologues, they have institutional power. So it's kind of an unfair fight. Like, I like that the movie sets that up and makes that clear of like, yeah, this is a bit of an unfair fight, but, it's one fucking battle after another,
Message.
I didn't like the title drop. It was like right at the beginning of the movie. It was like, we've got to do this thing, and this is how this goes. After this, it's one battle after another. It's like, boo. There should have been a better context. It should have been at the end of the movie.
Yeah, no, I can agree with
the
that.
girl's running off into the night and just like, fucking one battle after another. You know what I mean? Like, should have been something like that.
It would have made sense for Perfidia to be the one to say that as she was like leaving that one time too. It's just like, I can't stand this. It feels like it's one battle after another.
Right.
There's a lot of context you could use that. Where it's just like, I think her, like, maybe that being one of her exit lines or something would have been.
Yeah. Oh, right. Like, that's why I had to
out.
leave. Oh, it was just one fucking battle after another. There's no end in sight, you know?
I think that would have also
been brilliant. Oh my God. We were writing
that would have
right
reinforced
now.
her kind of lack of ethos to, like,
right,
her
and
lack
she's
of,
like breaking down. She doesn't give a fuck. She's being reckless and doing whatever, and then she takes her opportunity to fucking get out of Dodge, and she leaves. Like, and maybe it's like, oh man, when I went down to Mexico, it's like, well, it's all Mexican people, so there's not dealing with the, there's not as much dealing with the white supremacist sort of thing. So maybe I kind of had a better life here, but I just couldn't go back, or like just something,
yeah, because that would have made sense for her character, because her journey is nonstop, because it's a journey of. So it's interesting because Perfidia is a character that is defined by reaction, and then Ghetto Bob is one that's defined by passivity. Which makes the fact that Charlene is as dynamic as she is throughout it, like making decisions, good and bad, actually makes her the most interesting character. But she's also not the one that's like of the three. She's a deuteragonist ultimately towards the narrative, where it's like things happen to her that she doesn't know why, but she's still making choices that impact the narrative to preserve herself, because at the end of the day, it is about her getting back home and getting back safe.
Yeah, nobody likes getting killed, so yeah.
Nobody wants to die. We can all agree on that.
But yeah, so the Christmas, it's just so silly every time I think it's the Christmas Adventures Club. It makes it sound so not nefarious. I think they play Christmas music at one point. But
I think don't they say "Hail Santa"?
Yes, it's like, what is happening here? Like
that one in particular,
is this a bunch of, white supremacists who still believe Santa Claus is real, and like they believe everything about white supremacy, right? Like they actually believe in all of the, you know what I mean? Like even,
but they also strangely believe in Santa. But it's like my take on it was that it's just like, snow is like one of the purest, whitest things that naturally occurs. So it's like Christmas is the season of snow. Right, so it's like, Christmas adventures would make sense for a team of white supremacists to go under the radar, and even something like Hail Santa, the guy that this omniscient, mystical being that is typically personified as a white man, unless you go into Roses or Walmart. Just like all around the year determining who's good and who's bad. I guess in a certain light, you could also frame Saint Nick as a white supremacist.
Yeah.
Not personally how I choose to see him. I choose to see him as the guy that's friendly to dogs and gives gifts to people. Don't worry.
Oranges and helps out sex workers when he was alive.
Exactly. Don't worry. I am planning to write a Christmas themed murder mystery, a supernatural murder mystery. Yeah. I'll tell you about that after the show. I'll tell you about that after we record, because I think it's a very fun idea.
But yeah, so there's this weird interaction where he says, someone says, the guys who are talking to him, they say, we want to save the planet, and that starts with immigration. And I'm like, wait, what? Why is that even related? Why are people going to different countries? How is that related to the president? No, you fucking rich white people, oil tycoons. You don't want to face the fact that the shit that's actually fucking up the planet is your goddamn businesses. No, it's immigrants that are the problem. Yeah. There's just too many people going places. That's what the problem is. Oh, man. But then we get the scene where they go to the dance, and right after Ghetto Pat does the sort of protective dad who's like, who the fuck are you?
The dad that discovers non-binary people.
He's cool about it though. He's just still especially uptight in general about it. He's like, okay, I just want to make sure.
It's one of those moments where it's like you have a trope, but you modernize it, so it's still actually kind of funny. Where it's like the dad is meeting the friends and. Yeah, and doesn't. It's like, Dad, it's they, them. It's like, well, you need to tell them to make sure that you're safe. And I'm just like, see, that's affirmative parenting right there. Don't trust any of these little nigglets.
Tell them that they need to keep you safe.
Yeah, it's like you need to, which I'm like, see, that's I like that. I like moments like that. Some people might think it's corny. I think it's wholesome because that's probably how I'm gonna be in the future since I'm engaged with a non-binary person. Like, well, you better take they, them plural to get the fuck off my porch.
You get they, them's ass off my face.
Yeah, you tell him, her, she, him, they, them, she, they, all of the pronouns to get off the
fuck. To their pronoun to get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, it's like what are their pronouns? They, them? Well, they look hideous.
Yeah. But she goes to the dance. It's a dance that the school dance, and they're playing the music.
She looked very dressed down for a dance too.
Yeah, first of all, that like Colonel Lockjaw actually makes a point where he's like, you need to wear more makeup. Like if you're going to an event, you know, you got to look nice. Oh, it's really weird. Like it feels really weird for the stern conservative dad to be saying the opposite of like, you know, you think it'd be like, whoa, what are you doing all dolled up like some whore? You know what I mean? Like.
No, that actually does track for a conservative white man to tell a young black lady how she should look.
Sure. Put on some lighter foundation.
It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's not. I mean, it is policing, but it's respectability politics and things like that.
Yeah,
so it's like it's like, you know, if you want to be a proper young lady, you would dress like this. He's like Carter Pewterschmidt from Family Guy.
I was just thinking about that. But yeah, she goes to the dance. And they're playing Mo Bamba by Sheck Wes. And I was like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah, that was a choice.
I was like, that's 2018. Like, that's like 7 years ago. Like, at a school. Look, there's going to be some cool kids out there that listen to music before 3 years ago.
Sure, but Mo Bamba specifically?
To listen to no shit. Yeah, like, after about 7 years, it's like a clean slate. You can't be playing some shit. Like, you can't be in 1995 playing some shit from 1988. Like, kids ain't fucking rocking with that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not just that. It's also like, it's specifically playing a one-hit wonder from like my college years
like,
in
if it was
particular.
like Beyonce, if it was someone who's kind of lasted out the ages, okay, we have a reason to remember them. No one fucking remembers Sheck Wes. Like,
yeah, like that's like recently I was working out at the gym and I had my music on shuffle and I heard that fucking The Shoot song. Like, bitch, come through. You and you. I'ma get the money.
Jesus Christ.
Like, shoot, oh, shoot. It's like that fucking song, which I think was the same period as Mo Bamba. It's like, yeah, that's what it would be like. It's like, it's like, y'all ain't got, do kids not have songs anymore? We couldn't get Nile is a River to go on there.
Then the next song that gets played is Shut Up and Dance by Walk the Moon. And I'm like, okay, that's
like,
even...
another weird choice.
Dude, that's from 2014. Like, no way any of these kids are dancing to this.
It's like, yeah, it's... I'm over here like, it's not that they wouldn't know this song. It's that they were like 2 when those songs came out.
And you're not getting all of these, like, if you're a DJ, you're not getting these kids on the dance floor by playing some shit from 10 years ago.
I'm fucking saying, like, y'all ain't got no Meg Thee Stallion, no Doechii, no Mona Leo, no fucking
Tia got no Tyler the Creator in this Serato.
No Tyler the Creator, no Call Me If You Get Lost, no Kendrick Lamar, like, that's the one part of the script where it's just like,
no Sabrina Carpenter, no fucking
Sabrina Carpenter right there, Billie Eilish.
For fuck's sake.
God damn, bro, y'all ain't got no bops. Nothing from this decade.
All we got is the one-hit wonders from last decade. Wow, ain't this a bitch?
Yeah, it's like, all right, time to play the throwback playlist. And keep your eyes on me. Shut up and dance. I'm like, bitch, what the that'd be like if I heard
Hey Ho Lumineers ass shit.
Yeah, that's making me think of, what was the one with Jeanette? Tonight we are young.
Yeah.
Like, if they start playing that, it's like, did we go back in time in the gymnasium?
Is Todd in the Shadows about to review something?
Right.
There's certain music from the early 2010s. There's certain music from the early 2010s that I have not interacted with outside of a Todd in the Shadows review. So it's like it's like Todd in the Shadows core to me. You know?
Todd in the Shadows being rolled out as a musical guest might have knocked this movie up like at least 2 numbers. That would have.
DJ Faceless.
Just him in the hoodie. DJ Faceless. And it's just Todd in the Shadows on a piano. That would have been the greatest cameo, I think.
Right.
Oh god.
So we have the moment where like all the friends, they're like, oh wait, did something happen? Did someone record that? Oh, that's crazy. Let's all go check it out. Everyone just happens to all leave at the same time. And Infinity Chase's character just happens to stick behind right as Regina Hall's character shows up out of nowhere. Honestly, it's just like, hey, it's me. I'm gonna say the thing that you're used to, and so you need to know that you need to trust me. And you know, plot wise, I know who these characters are, so I'm, you know, I'm sure that this is all going according to plan. But like, if you didn't show me Regina Hall's character, this kind of looks like someone who's about to be indoctrinated into like a cult or something like that, right? Like, doesn't this come definitely with me? All like, of your friends aren't here. Just don't ask any questions.
Now, granted, I'll give them this much. That I think they reinforced it well by like illustrating what the device is, showcasing it several times, and then her also stating, "My dad told me if anyone has this thing that syncs up with me, to trust them with my life," and also that we got to see Regina Hall earlier. If we didn't see her earlier, it would have read a lot weirder. But I think they added just enough like explicit context to be like, she will show up again, or someone will show up again in this role. But you won't know who. Oh, that was one thing that we slightly passed over. The dude that got picked up, like bagged and tagged by the government in Mexico.
Yeah, the one white dude. Yeah, he's the one who gets to survive.
The one white guy. It's like, oh, it'd be a shame if anything happened to your sister. I'm like, fuck.
Yo, yeah.
And like, well, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, but oh, and then Lockjaw, like, so they figure out where the house is. They break in, and then sort of Lockjaw walks around the room. He sees the baby picture, picks it up, holds it to his nose, and sniffs it, which is like,
that was weird.
What? Who? There's no scent of the baby. What? You know, the fucking picture.
It's like, bro, that was weird as fuck. Please don't tell me you do things with kids too. You're already terrible.
Yeah. So
here's the thing. He was already irredeemable, but we don't have to.
For fuck's sake. We
gotta keep making. It's like, we don't gotta reinforce. It's like, I get it, Sean. You're supposed to be like a weird, creepy, evil asshole.
You got the weird sort of like,
You got that really fucked up, that yee ass, ugly ass haircut.
That fucking hair, the fucking what do you call it? You know, usually it's spiked up, that sort of thing, but it's like the sort of flop. It's fucking
flopped over, looking like
spike haircut with fucking with erectile dysfunction or some shit, you know?
Yeah, he looked like the villain from Fifth Element.
Oh my God, you ain't even lying.
just aged up and put in military gear, fucking Gary Oldman's character. But yeah, it's just like, no, that here's the thing, haircuts do actually piss me off, and this is one of those times.
And the way when he pulls out the comb and he like licks the comb so we can run it through his hair, like that's such a like, it's such a grody moment for some reason.
I'm like, you nasty bastard.
So he sneaks out through a tunnel, calls for help, calls the resistance network, but he can't remember any of the passwords, so he keeps fucking it up. He's like, just fucking help me out, man. Like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, where are you? Just give me the coordinates of your location. He's like, oh, I'm somewhere between the stolen Choctaw land and the stolen Cherokee land. It's like, God damn it.
Which is like, that was a point that I think ran a little long. Was him just
it was a recurring
like, I get he was high and he fried his brain and just like
you didn't have that shit written down. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, it's like, that would have been I get that it's like, destroy the evidence of it being anywhere. Fair enough. Government's gonna raid your house, and they did exactly that. Sure, but you didn't put that like in your bag or anything, just in case, because you already had that bag prepared for like, moments like
under your fucking arm or some shit, you know?
Yeah, like, so there are other ways to like keep it, like, just have a password notebook that was locked or anything. Of the sort. So it's just like, I think it was played for laughs, but it kind of grated on me. And you know what else grated on me? That goddamn piano that we had to listen to for like an hour of the movie. I'm like, oh my God, I'm feeling the length. Because I was watching it, seeing there's just ding, 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 ding. It might go a couple. Ding,
sounds like
ding,
they got
ding,
Homeboy
ding,
from
ding,
Breaking
ding,
Bad
ding,
on the
ding.
soundtrack.
I'm like, please, Jesus, it's gonna. And then I'm like, please, end my fucking misery. And then at one point it stopped. I'm like, thank God, the piano's going. Oh my! I get it. It's for attention. It's for tone. It's to drive in the anxiety. I got it 15 minutes ago. I got it 30 minutes ago. You keep playing the same. It's driving me crazy. I get it. He's tense and nervous. I don't need to feel it with him. I got it.
Right. But we have the scene where, you know, Ghetto Bob is trying to get away because he gets the help from Benicio del Toro. And they have a scene where, like, you know, he's running with some kids and they're, like, running across rooftops and shit. And
yeah, like the fucking Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, fucking old ass Ghetto Pat. I was watching the scene and I was like, how is he gonna keep up with these guys? And then he absolutely eats shit. Like the first I think it's like the second building he has to jump over, where he just falls on a tree and it just happens to like save his fall in time. And it's like, wow, I like how they played that realistically. Like, yeah, this guy's not gonna be able to keep up with these fucking 17-year-olds.
Yeah, fell 40 feet, you know, through a tree and onto the cement and immediately got picked up by police.
Yeah.
And like, there was a part of me, I'm just like, damn, I hope he makes it. Nope.
Right. So I liked that as a, like, just a narrative, you know, subversion of, oh, you think he's just going to keep getting away? Actually, no. But then someone just happens to be working at the hospital and it goes like, hey, I'm down with the team. Get going. You know, like, I won't have seen you. So I thought that was kind of
I thought that was definitely like a deliberate setup once he
like there's people on there's good people
there's people on the
you know
there's people on the inside of there are people that are within the system that like you know how to work within the mechanisms of it exactly for moments like this where it's just like, you know, yes, you're a cog in the machine, but you can still resist in minor ways, which again, anything involving Benicio's character I think was a proper representation of like how actual militant and leftist individuals function, where it's clean, it's clear, it's organized, everybody has a purpose.
He's calm,
everybody knows the plan.
He's like, all right, do what you gotta do. Everybody line up, time to go.
Because you prepared this like hundreds of thousands of times, like you've already done. It's like, you know what to do. Everybody's on the same side. And so them compared to, I almost called them Weather Underground. God rest those people. The French 75 is just like, they're so night and day, because French 75 was loud and I think what makes it slightly more infuriating with French 75 is because they are so diverse, but a lot of the faces we do see are black. Like, there are white people in it, obviously. There are other people of color in it. But it's like a lot of the big ones we see that stick out to us are gonna be Teyana Taylor, Regina Hall, Wood Harris's character, even though he's only there for like 3 minutes, Jungle Pussy. So it's like it makes like those revolutionaries that it's based off of seem incompetent, because that's who you're gonna holding it up against, and they were never that. They were fucking destroyed by the government.
I wish the movie had earlier like maybe made clear that they're like cosplaying revolution, you know, like the idea
or that they were like, you know, it'd be a good example. They should have pulled from Final Fantasy VII, where there was a actual like militia, but they were a fringe part of it. They were like
that's what I was thinking they were gonna go for.
Yeah, like the actual French 75 was like a well-organized, well-oiled machine that used a lot of the same tools and techniques. And then you have this like fringe extremist, you know, loud, attention-grabbing terrorist cell of it that's like blowing up political offices. Again, things that somewhat align, but they're a lot more militant. They're a lot more aggressive with their tactics. So they're not like community and engage in education. They're like, we need to blow up public office and like shoot the president and get out all the
they were going JK as a joke. And I think they were going for that with the nuns, right? To be like, you know, hey, she split off and tried to do her own thing. But I just feel like they didn't hit that beat hard enough in terms of, because like, what are the nuns?
They didn't get enough time with the nuns. The nuns were dope.
They're cool, but it seems like they're more just defending themselves as opposed to actively doing something, which it feels like Benicio del Toro's character is the active agent. You know what I'm saying? Who's got the who's got the plan? You know, he's the fucking James Bond of the group. Who's like, oh yeah, I already know, I know what to do. Yeah, come right. No, not even fucking James. He's the fucking the M. You know what I mean? He's all right. I already got the plans. I know what you need to do. We go this way and that way. You know? Yeah. But then But I did like this quick scene where you see the protests against the ICE raids, and then the military guy kind of he whispers off real quick. He's like, "All right, send in the Eddie Van Halen," and it's the dude who jumps out of a car, the white dude who lights a Molotov cocktail just to throw it and cause chaos. And I was like, "Ooh, I liked that. I like that."
I liked it, and it pissed me off because it's very when the movie has moments from like reality where you know it's real, like. The cartoonish level of hatred from the supremacist, the plants, during actual like protests and resistance that are already starting peaceful. I'm like, that's good. More of that critique, please.
Yeah,
the functional leftist.
This is what I mean. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like the side things that you're seeing, I wish that they would put that in focus. And yes, you could have the goofy person who's being more too extreme or what have you. But it's like I want to see the competency because God damn it, the fucking conservative people in power, they fucking got the structures of power. I want to see what what I mean, what the resistance structure is,
Right.
Yeah. Then Sergio helps him by he's driving in his car with him, and like they pass a car right as Ghetto Pat is drinking a beer. But like the police kind of like roll up on him. Now I guess it's like you can't have an open container at all. But I feel like if he's not the main one driving, so I don't know.
They saw a Latino dude behind the wheel. They're like,
yeah,
they're better than safe.
But and I love how like it's so silly. Like okay, this police car is following them for a while, and then he like Ghetto Pat jumps out of the car, like and Benicio's like, yeah, you're like fucking Tom Cruise, man, fucking do it. And he jumps out of the car, and like the police had no questions about that big ass motherfucker who just like popped out of the vehicle, you know what I mean? Because by the time they get him and pull him over, he's like, oh yeah, he's so fucking calm, dude. I wish I was fucking had Benicio del Toro's fucking cool when the fucking cops come up to me.
Smooth as hell.
He's like, putting my hands up, and he's like, oh, have you had a couple of drinks? He's like, may have had a few. It's like this man is incriminating himself and still looks cool as fuck. Like what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, like he handled that so smooth because I think anyone else in his position would be terrified, but he's like, yeah, what else am I gonna do? Just another day, despite Leo's big ass jumping out the side of the window, and that's the thing.
And then you see a whole ass man jump out the side of his vehicle, but okay,
right, like no slowdown, no nothing. It's like, oh, I mean, but again, when they're focused on their target, they saw that Latino man, they didn't see that white man, I guess.
But it's just like, a white guy jumping out of the car. That's fine. I'm sure that's fine.
Yeah, that happens every day. But to that point, it's like it just I think further showcases that Bob is a passerby damn near his entire life. And it's not to say, it's like, again, he was active in the French 75, he was setting bombs, he was following instructions, but so much of the movie where we're following him, he is a passive character, and he's only as active as it is self-serving. It's like, and again, it's like he did a good job raising Charlene. So again, it's like, it's not that he was fully passive because she wouldn't have been able to save her life had he not taught her to. It's just he got settled over time, and unfortunately, I think, and maybe that's part of the theme.
His brain
too.
was fried by weed and alcohol,
coping with the loss and probably the trauma of what he experienced and being on the run,
right,
looking over his shoulder, like you get tired and scared, and I get that, but I think it's also maybe to the point. It's like with the revolution, you don't get the luxury of passivity.
Oh, you don't get to rest. See, maybe that could have been another good point. Oh, Leonardo's all beaten down because he's having to remain vigilant all the time, and maybe he meets Perfidia and's like, I got to be somewhere else. I got to be outside of America, and I got to see that we could live a different life. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to live this way. But yeah, so Lockjaw, he eventually finds her, kidnaps her. They find out that he's related to her. And then he decides that he's going to, he doesn't want to kill her. And again, okay, you busted your nut in there, so what the fuck? All right, whatever. But
first of all, again, she might have been assaulted, but if it was consensual, why are you fucking this motherfucker raw? He's racist.
That's what my thing was. Like, you really let him fuck you without a condom? Like either it's sexual assault or you let him fuck you without a condom. What's going on here?
Yeah, it's like you're at your big age in your 30s as somebody that just turned 30. It's like you too old to be fucking racist, bro. And I don't mean like
Come
I mean
on
yes,
now.
like fucking racist as in the adjective, but also fucking racist as in a literal and a noun.
You're not
it's
Tyler,
like,
the creator, in his early 20s. Come on, stop fucking racist.
Exactly. Exactly. You're not Gerard Carmichael now.
But yeah, you're not Doja Cat. But anyway,
now. Yes, my evil twin, Amala. See, our letters are even at opposite ends of the alphabet.
Oh wow. But no, so instead of killing her outright, he's like, I guess he feels bad about it. He delivers her to this Native American like hitman, I guess. But the Native American dude's just like, what do you want? Like, why are you getting me to do it? Why don't you do it yourself? He's like, I don't want to.
This was a weird character
this whole
because
third
we get
act
greater.
feels very
we get
convoluted,
greater,
and a whole bunch of shit just kind of happens. You know,
we get greater context to that specific character because we see it earlier because he kidnaps one of the white guy that was still remained from the French 75. He's an interesting one because because he threw him in the car and everything. He's interesting because they talk about him in the Christmas roundup conversation where they describe him as he's a Native American man, or I think they called him Comanche. I can't remember what tribe this.
Oh, that's right, because they're trying to figure out who to put a hit out on fucking Colonel Lockjaw's ass. So it's like, wow, it shows how much they like him.
But what's weird about him in particular, and I'm not, and I got a little bit of a point with this. It's like he's an indigenous man, basically cosplaying as like half Mexican to like maintain an adjacency to, I guess, whiteness and power. But that reads particularly weird because, and again, it's like, it's not to say that there aren't racist people that engage in white supremacy that are like Native Americans.
Right, sellouts or what have you.
Yeah, sellouts. However, those are probably like the last on the totem pole to see. I'm not going to say that they don't exist or I've never seen them. Yeah, my bad. My fault. I walked that one back. It was like, but the bottom of the rungs, the lowest on the list.
What you're saying. It's like, why are they
it's like of all the demographics to pick, he could have just been like a Cuban dude, and that would have 1,000% made sense.
Yeah, like,
but him being Native American feels really fucking weird.
Movies in general, but this feels like a weird role. Yeah.
It's like, I mean, and then again, this is one of those movies where I walk out of it like, man, I can't imagine what the casting call is like, where it's like, oh boy, I get to play the racist. But like, it's like, okay,
man, I just wanted to do normal. I'm a white guy who just wanted to do a movie role, and just because I have a really long beard hair and a certain haircut, now I gotta play the white supremacist in this movie. No.
Yeah, I wear brown shoes and a Patagonia jacket. Now I'm sitting at the cabal of Klansmen.
But what happens is
he's a weird character in terms of where he's...
It's this weird little cul-de-sac of a moment where, all right, the Native American dude takes the girl, then he gives them... Well, he's about to give him over to these racists to kill him, but then he decides, fuck that, and just has a shootout with them.
Are they racist or are they sex traffickers? Huh? That was a part that confused me too. Were they racists or were they sex traffickers?
Dude, I don't know.
Both. I knew they were bad based off of how they were framed, but I'm like... So what was it's like? Oh, we got another body. Okay, that could mean so many things. Yeah. Because I know he said that he didn't kill kids, so he had him transport.
Right, that was the thing. Yeah.
Like over, I think I guess close to the border, and they were gonna finish the job. So my mind went to one of two things: either they were gonna do some ghoulish, nightmarish things to her, and then probably traffic her, which is my guess, or they were just gonna be. He was just the intermediary to have somebody kill her, which neither outcome is particularly favorable. But I definitely got more of, oh, here's another young girl corpse to be to sent over country lines, never to be seen again.
Right.
Which is still evil and disgusting and vile. Yeah. Especially for him to do that to his own daughter, just to like so that he can get a club of racists. Which like
So like you're watching this movie in this third act and you're like, wait, there's a bad guy going after the bad guy. I don't know what I'm supposed to be rooting for here.
I was rooting for both of their downfalls, and I did at least get that satisfaction.
Yeah, that is true. That definitely did happen. But
yeah, they sent the they sent the whitest white guy with a shotgun.
Yeah, he
and
looked like
blew
fucking
him away in his truck.
fucking.
That was kind of funny.
Oh, who's that guy? Fucking Ed Helms looking ass dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they send him out. He like just does a thing where he drives up to Lockjaw's car and just does a roll down your window. And he's like, oh, what's going on? Rolls it down, and
Yeah,
he just pulls
the
out
fact
a
that he
big
listened,
ass shotgun.
it was just met with shotgun through the window. It's like, roll it down. We're both going 60 miles an hour. This
Right.
makes sense.
If another man's going 60 miles an hour, driving in the opposite lane, but it going my way, nah, I'm not rolling down shit for him.
Yeah, on an intersecting one-way highway. Like,
Right.
yeah, for sure. This is sensible. Nothing
Now, I
bizarre
will
or
say-
weird could be happening.
The action of this third act, like the shot and then the way the car
Yeah.
just swings off the rail and crashes, like it's such an incredible, like, whoa, that just looks cool as shit. And then the weird high speed, mid to high speed change, because Leonardo
It was
DiCaprio's
both.
car
It
is
was
like going
both.
so fucking slow and it never actually catches up until like at the end. But like the fact that they're going over hills and there's that sort of wait, how close are you now and how far away are you now? Like I like that as a suspension moment, and then how it kind of pays off at the end where she gets enough ahead to like run behind, you know, run behind the hill, and then like when the guy's car comes up the hill of the blind spot, he rams right into our car. Like that's fucking that was a brilliant action movie moment, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I think this movie overall is very, very well directed. Like the and very well performed. But the biggest critiques I think we'd have is about like writing decisions,
the
and
motivation
how
of
they
the
kind of
characters,
execute.
yeah, to make it
Yeah.
stronger, to give connective tissue, and like I wanted there to be some sort of like, let the girl be angry at her mom, let there be
Yes.
some sort of complexity that she has to show. You know, I really wish they had done that, but instead, like at the end of the day, she kind of has this sort of rose tinted version. I mean, yeah, she asks Regina at one hall, she's like, was she a rat? And you know, she says yes.
She
But-
said yes. Which
but-
it's like, I kind of, because I do think for Perfidia's character, basically sacrificing the revolution for self-preservation as a form of autonomy,
Like
it is it actually, you know what? That would make more sense for a white woman, if I'm being honest.
right, but
Historically,
yes.
that would
No,
because
I get what you
that's
said.
happened.
Like that would be the social commentary. But the problem here is like, all right, here's this black woman who runs away from her
But you have a
problems,
black
knowing
woman
damn
do
well
it.
she has a daughter, and then on top of that, this is the thing that annoys me. Like,
There's too much
at
to
the end of the
lose.
movie. The lesson that Infinity Chase kind of takes is, well, it's time for me to do one battle after another now, and it's like, your mom left the revolution. She pieced the fuck out. You want to maybe ask some questions as to why? Like, even if you disagree, like, you know,
Yeah,
like
there's-
something happened that made her not want to go along with this. Why are you still, after she writes a really nice letter at the end, not in no way explaining herself as to why she ratted out, you know, and like she could have at least said like, I wanted to keep you safe. I wanted to do something. Like she never says that. So it's just kind of like a, well, I guess I love my mom, so I'm just going to do what she did. It's like, well, why? You haven't, as far as the movie is concerned, she has no real connection to any of this struggle. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
she's informed of it because of what's kind of inferred and described from Bob and what
Yeah.
she describes about. So it's like, so she knows a lot. She's familiar with his history very clearly, like by the fact that, you know, they don't use landlines, they don't use cell phones. Things like that.
right.
So it's like it plays a lot in her character's like backstory and history. In that same token, and I know people are going to be upset in the comments or whatever because I'm harping on the race thing, but it matters in so much as like intersectional identities are things that we all have. Everybody has something that overlaps with something
Yeah,
else. Even if
yeah.
you are a cis, het, white man, that means something.
You're still
particularly
autistic. You're still, you know, disabled in this way or that way.
or
you
even
know?
even if you're like able-bodied, healthy, all those are just like details and specifiers. But in the historical context of what those mean in America specifically, and when you're having the context of discussing something like revolution, and you're telling a narrative where even that is the backdrop, the inferences of it overlap and create very, very different reactions. So think about it this way. If we swap the races, if we made Perfidia white, Bob black, and the general also black, so that you can still get the narrative and things like that, I think it would shape out very, very differently, especially if it's like, oh, I want to get in, if it's a black general still trying to get into a group of white supremacists, and maybe you expand it and have some other people, but he doesn't realize that he's just the token, and that they will never accept him, and that they're still going to kill him regardless. You would have a very different narrative. Like a white woman that's willing to sacrifice the revolution for personal autonomy is something that has historically happened. We've had a lot of sellouts, with white. Doesn't mean we don't have it with black people. We have plenty that are sellouts with black people. Sure. Fucking Bill in the Black Panthers. That's how, part of why Fred Hampton died. And then he committed suicide. So it's not like sellouts don't exist. But they look and read different when you add on the layers of
different
things
motivation.
Different motivations with things like sex, race, gender. So when you have a black woman as a sellout, she doesn't get the luxury of just being herself. So Perfidia at no point in this movie gets to be Perfidia as an individual. And all the consequences as such. You don't get to be looked at as Perfidia, the woman that did this. You are now the representation in every other person's life. It's Perfidia, the absent mother. It's Perfidia, the rat. It's Perfidia, the wife that left me. It's Perfidia, the wife that cheated on me. It's Perfidia, the Jezebel. Perfidia doesn't get to be, and again, you could say something about that there, where black women
I was just thinking
autonomy and agency, but the movie's not about that. So
it's frustrating.
I'm just kind of smart.
This is almost a great movie. That's my problem. This is almost a great movie.
Yeah. It's like, it does a lot of things that work. The cast works, the cinematography works, the action beats work, some of the theming works. It's just like a hair short. Like, I was entertained. I didn't walk out bothered by this movie, but it is one. I think this is a great movie to discuss, but I think depending on, and again, I have a very loose tertiary awareness of revolutionary history and leftist politics. I have not read or engaged in nearly enough education or practice as I could and probably should and will do at some point, hopefully. But this is just me coming at it from somebody that hasn't even read any books. I've watched a couple deep dives and some BreadTube videos about relevant topics, and I know names like Du Bois and Frederick Douglass and Asada. I know some names, but you're not gonna be, I know about the MOVE bombing, and I know Weather Underground from Wikipedia searches. I am I am as juvenile as it comes, and these are my takeaways from that. The fact that it's I'm not even that informed. So I understand why those that are more informed and educated on this particular historical context come out of this very, very, and those that are engaging in community and revolutionary work today, presently, would be very bothered by this. But to those that think revolution is just Martin Luther King and the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and protesting, and see it at a surface level, they're like, wow, this is very thought provoking and introspective. I think that's how you come out with these almost diametrically opposed experiences, where one party is infuriated because it reads as such a shallow understanding of what it takes for those movements to get off the ground and how disrespected they've been historically, versus those that don't have that education because of how the American education system teaches history, teaches revolution. You won't know about the summer of '85 between, Philadelphia literally getting bombs dropped on it and killing children and adults in the process, while also having, I forget which concert it was, but it was Summer Jam or something I'm forgetting the name, but having a major concert. Most people think of revolution as just the American Revolution, the Civil War, World War II, civil rights.
Right, and it just happened. The government just decided to be nice after being really mean for a long time, Yeah,
it was civil rights, something, war on terror, Black Lives Matter.
I think what is I put in a lyric where I was talking about there's a song, I think it was it was the Fuck the Hood song, and all the bad shit it represents, even though I'm from there, we still need to build from there, something like that. And then there's one part where I said redlining is the shit that keeps us all fucked up and keeps us in poverty. It's what do you think after civil rights they just said, oh, our bad, right this way to equality. Like, no. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? What, you think they just repealed some racist policies and said, oops, our bad, right this way to equality? Yeah, that's what I said.
Right, and it's like there's so many places I think this could have been taken. I'm not saying that like it's easy. I'm on like my 7th or 8th round of edit. So for somebody that is like a seasoned vet and is like really knows what the fuck he's doing from a filmmaking, from a screenwriting perspective, and also loosely adapting a narrative, Paul had a lot on his plate. It like just misses the mark, is the thing. Yeah. Mind you, that's a
frustrating watch. Yeah,
it's difficult because at the end of the day, I was entertained. I had a good time.
Sure,
I wasn't bored. You know, and the only reason I'm having this significant emotional response now is because we're having a conversation about what did and didn't work. I still like the movie.
Yeah, the movie has good politics. You know, like it's still a fun time. It's still a good journey.
Like it might be on my end of the year list, depending on how I feel about Good Boy, and Smash Machine. Yeah, depending on how I feel about like Good Boy and Smash Machine, it might make my top 10 for the year. I still think like as a movie, it's great. As a piece of like political commentary and praxis, not so much.
Yeah. So we get to the just to round things up, because the last couple scenes of the movie really do feel like a weird denouement in terms of Lockjaw's character, because he gets blown up by the car, and yet he's still like, you know, the guy who came to shoot him ends up getting killed by Infinity Chase, and then like, okay, after that scene happens, Leonardo DiCaprio and you know and his daughter meet up and they hug, and then you see Colonel Lockjaw bloodied doing that weird walk he does.
Oh yeah, his weird little limpy walk.
Yeah, with his gun, and you're thinking, oh shit, here's the Terminator moment. Fuck, they gotta run because he's on the fucking prowl. But then it just fades to him at the Christmas Adventures Club, and they're going like, hey, we're gonna give you a nice corner office. Doesn't that make you happy, even though your face is all fucked up over this bullshit? Like, isn't that nice that we give you a nice corner office? And like, I was watching the scene like, wait, weren't these the guys that were just about to kill him? I don't understand. Like, why
when they did that, I'm like, well, he did.
Yeah, I know.
We didn't even talk about the whole reverse rape conversation, did we?
Oh my god, yeah, that's right. She's a semen demon. She reverse raped me.
The way I cackled in this goddamn theater. They had the same face as me. I'm like, he said the reverse rape.
My movie theater, there was an audible laugh at that moment.
It might have been me. You might have heard me several states over.
What did this man just say?
Fucking Oliver, it's like, well, she reverse raped me, and everyone's just like,
big ass, exactly muscly hard ass. Yeah, fucking Sean Penn's character. No, she had me dead to rights. She totally got the drop on me. How did that happen without you allowing her to do that, sir?
It's like, oh well, she drugged me and took advantage of my manhood. And it's like when you hear a white person say, like, that's reverse racism. I'm like, you mean inverse? Not reverse. The opposite. You know, it's like reverse racism would just be support.
Yeah, the reverse of racism. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like the reverse. So it's like by you saying, he kind of low-key gave the game away. It's like, oh, the reverse of rape would be consent. So what you have inadvertently implied is described as consensual sex with you being under some sort of substance use. It's like, she reverse raped me. So you consensually had sex with one of the most gorgeous and beautiful black women alive. Right. That's how you know these motherfuckers are racist. They saw pictures. They saw Perfidia and said,
"She drugged me." Wait, the only thing that was in your system that was Dom Perignon, a drink that you like.
It didn't run. It faded from my system.
The bitch knew my vices.
Yeah, it's like, look, man, you've seen that video she did for the Kanye West song?
No,
not New Body. What's the other one?
Oh my God! Wait, what video did she do? Wait, is it the Flashing Lights video?
No. It was off of that Orange album that he had. Fuck, what was it called?
Oh, God.
Not New Body. It was off of Life of Pablo.
Yeah.
It was
that really awful album cover where it's like, I don't know which one I'm gonna go with. Let me just do a really awkward thing that makes it all look bad.
Fade. She did the video for Fade.
Oh yeah, My Life is Fade or whatever the fuck.
My love is Fade.
Wow.
Yeah, where everyone realized
my brain was like, where do I know this woman from? I think that's where I remember specifically seeing her.
Everyone remembers the Fade video because after that, I think it was like 10,000 gym memberships started across America when they realized it's like, oh, I might be in competition with Teyana Taylor.
Right. But so there's the final scene where he's in the corner office. He's sort of kicking his feet up and relaxing, and then you see sort of smoke come from the one of the vents, and it knocks him out, kills him, and then two dudes like in sort of really geared up
suits.
Yeah, hazmat suits take him out. And my thing was that like it was sort of unsatisfying because I was like, wait, was this the French 75 doing another hit, or was that Club killing him?
That was pretty clear that it was the Christmas Club when they were having the conversation before about him being in there. And like as soon as he said, "Oh, I forgot my key," and he closed the door, I'm like, this nigga is dead.
Yeah, but it threw me out. Was like, why would they? All right, we just sent a killer after you. And you're still coming back to our organization? Okay, well, here's this corner office that we set up for you just to kill you again. Like, what? Just shoot him in the head? Like...
Oh, no. No, that's too bloody. That's easy to just, like, gas. My thing is, like, they probably already had that set up. As soon as he got back, they're like, oh, okay, we'll send him under the guys, and we'll basically make it quiet. Because it's like... Because him being in that desert...
peacefully, I guess.
Him being in that desert would have been quiet because nobody realistically would have found the body for some time.
Somehow he fucking walked out of that desert. He fucking limp-walked out of that whole desert.
He limp-walked out and recovered from a shotgun to the face, and they're like, fuck.
That would have been funny if there was a scene where it was like, oh shit, you're still alive?
But yeah, I would imagine their thinking is essentially... it's like, let's give him the benefit of the doubt to see if he's going to be honest with us. And when he lied, they just all silently agreed. It's like, just give us a chance to reject you and maybe he'll come clean and we're just not going to let him in. But then he lied to still get access to that form of power despite their strong stipulations of
that is true. They did. Yeah. Cause that was when he gave the excuse, right? Of like, oh, well, this is why this happened. So it's all good. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because mind you, they wanted him dead regardless. He wasn't going to make it in. Little did he know. He was never going to make it in. You
was never in the cool kids club.
Right. You were never in the cool... Here's the thing. There is nothing you can do...
It's a big club and you ain't in
it. There's nothing you can do that will be enough to make the worst people like you just because they're in positions of power. They won't protect you when the bombs fall that they drop. They won't keep you safe. There's nothing you can do there's no cozying up. There's no dick sucking enough to save you. It didn't work for Perfidia. It's not going to work to an old white guy that might have raped her or fucked her, whatever he did.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Yeah. But then we get to the last moment where, she's reading the letter and it's supposed to be a heartfelt moment and, kind of
of sorts.
Yeah. Like one day you'll find me. And because that's what I was thinking. I was like, wait, is she dead? And I'm like, oh, I guess she's not dead, but...
No, she wrote it before she dipped.
Yeah, exactly. So, this letter was, made years ago, so I guess we don't know if she's alive or not. But the way the movie kind of frames it is like, they say like, oh, one day you'll find me. And I'm like, girl, you ignored your child so you could go on another mission and then screwed everything up and then it led to you snitching on them. Like, that's not a great final note to go out on to be like, oh, find me and we'll do the revolution together. And like, so that's why it felt a little weird that she's like, oh, the movie ends with like Infinity Chase kind of teaching her dad how to hold the camera.
Yeah, how to use a smartphone and take a selfie.
Yeah. And I love but I hate Leonardo DiCaprio in this moment because it's so unearned for him to be like sitting there and looking at the camera in this sort of smoldering looking face. But I was like, God damn it, he looks so cool as he rolls out of the movie. Like he tries to do like a wink, but then he does it too soon before the flash goes off. And I was like, God damn it, you charming motherfucker.
It is a very it's a very cutesy moment for a very stressful movie that ends on kind of a. It's like, and maybe one day you'll be the one to carry the torch of the future. And then she like runs off to a protest to go help out the next generation. And it's like, I guess. Why would you not be there for your literal child going to a revolution?
Yeah, she's like 16, 17. He said, I think you hear over like a radio comm or something like that. That's like, oh, this protest is happening and, some people are being detained and it's 3. And before she goes out, he goes like, hey, it's 3.5 hours away and it's raining. Are you sure you're good? And she's like, yeah, I'm good. And he goes off, but I'm still just left like, I don't know. This feels irresponsible. Ghetto Pat.
It definitely
like,
feels
like, can you at least go with her or something? Like,
yeah, man. It's just like, you ain't up to shit.
Right?
Take your happy ass there, and it's like, you better look out for your kid. Especially after everything she's been through, you don't think the government still does, just because one guy got killed. Like,
that's the long and short of the movie. If you don't have any more notes.
No. I mean, despite all our feedback and everything, I still like it. Like,
yeah.
I still like it a lot. I don't know if I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's still an interesting journey of a film to watch.
Yeah, like as a movie, it's still highly engaging. It's emotionally resonant. Like, I got an emotional response. And I mean, apart from what we talked about. So it's like, it has a decent chance of being in my top 10 of the year. I'm not going to lie. Like, I think it's a good movie.
The one thing that keeps biting at me is just the way Perfidia Beverly Hills' character is used and not used for most of the fucking movie, right? Like, we don't get time to grapple with her decisions because everyone's doing all of this stuff in her name. But it's kind of like, well, who the fuck is she? Because it seems like she was pretty fucking problematic. So, yeah.
Hope maybe one day we'll get like a spinoff about Perfidia or a book.
Maybe
or something
we'll
like
get
that.
an actual Asada movie. You know what I mean? Like,
man, listen. Look, the world. I don't think this world.
The world ain't ready for that one.
I don't think this world.
But your kids are gonna love it.
Right, is ready, and that's the point of the movie. Is ready for an Asada movie, especially when you realize that Obama doubled her bounty from $1 million to $2 million.
Whoa, are you fucking kidding me?
I am being 1,000%. They literally wrote a letter. I think in 20. I think it was during his second term. There's a letter that you can find where it's like, hey, Mr. Obama, please don't double her fucking bounty on the FBI. And he did it anyway.
What the fuck did he say? It's like, you can eat my nuts.
he didn't say shit. He just did it.
Man, Obama, yo, I am so looking sideways at this motherfucker every fucking thing I find out, man. It's like,
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But like Patton Oswalt said, cool black guy, drone bomb children. Those are the caveats. You know,
also a lot of shit was, you know, like, as much as you want to give a shit, it's like he inherited all of that. You know what I mean? It's not like he did. I'm deciding he wasn't the first to do this of my own accord. You know, he was like, well, if you don't do this, they're gonna make it really hard for you to do anything. So there's probably that level of it too, right?
Yeah. So it's like, sure, there's a lot of it inherited, but also, you still did it.
You could have made it. Like, you could have pushed back a little. Fucking lead from the front, motherfucker. Goddamn.
Because here's my thing. It's like, being on the FBI's most wanted list for killing one police... Allegedly,
right?
We don't know it. Allegedly killing up one police officer. It wasn't... She didn't blow up the station like it's Grand Theft Auto. A $1 million to $2 million bounty.
It's like,
for
how many
now, again,
people...
here's the thing.
Look,
a life is priceless. A life is precious. But
she
didn't blow up the whole fucking police station.
Officers and aren't fucking on FBI wanted lists. You know what I mean?
Motherfucker, how many school shootings have we had this year?
Yeah.
Children have died on a weekly basis. They don't have $1 million bounties. One cop? Allegedly one cop?
Now we gotta make an example out of this bitch.
And that was exactly it. And then she is I respect to Asada. May she rest in power. Because you got away from the FBI,
right?
for 30 years.
Goddamn. See, that's what they really don't like. Ooh, fuck, you got away. No, we got to set an example for the rest of you niggas. We can't just let people think that they can just do that.
She got away and ascended to the astral plane as well. She goes, because it's not only you got away from us. The U.S.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have a history of catching niggas. Literally.
Yeah, indeed.
They caught him in the fiction, caught him in real life, but they ain't catch motherfucking Asada.
But yeah, let's get on up out of here. Appreciate y'all listening, folks. This is the Review a New Podcast. I'm DJ.
And I'm Will the Greatest.
And I'm a fool to do your dirty work. Oh, yeah. That was a bop right there. I was like, wait a minute.
It's fire.